Before we get started, please like and subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from, and you can support the channel by clicking thanks or joining. Ethan Carter had always believed that every abandoned house carried a history, but not every history wanted to be found. The house at the edge of Marrow Creek was different. It was not simply abandoned, it was avoided. People walked past it without looking. Children dared each other to touch the rusted gate, but never dared to cross it. And for years, the townspeople whispered the same warning like a prayer. Do not open the fifth door. Ethan never cared much for warnings. He was a freelance investigative writer who specialized in uncovering places with dark reputations. He had written about haunted hospitals, remote mining towns, even an island that fishermen refused to approach. But nothing intrigued him like the house in Marrow Creek, especially after the sheriff told him no one who had entered that house after sunset had stayed sane. He arrived at dusk when the sky smoldered with the last red streaks of daylight. The house stood tall and narrow, its wooden siding warped and darkened by decades of storms. The windows were black. Nothing reflected out of them. The air around the house was still. Not a single leaf moved, even though the rest of the street carried the soft whistle of the autumn wind. Ethan pushed the gate. It creaked but did not resist. The moment he stepped onto the walkway, the temperature dropped so sharply he saw his breath leave his lips in white streams. He paused, letting the sensation settle. It was not natural cold. It felt deliberate, like the house itself exhaled frost. Inside, the front door hung crooked as if it had been opened too hard too many times. The hinges groaned as Ethan pushed it inward. The smell inside was thick with dust mold and something else. Something like old metal. He clicked on his flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness, revealing an entrance hall lined with cracked wallpaper and crooked family portraits whose eyes had faded into black dots. On the left side of the hall, 4 wooden doors stood in a neat row, each one painted a different shade of brown. The first door was pale with scratches carved into its edges. The second door carried a long burn scar across its frame. The third door was covered in peeling varnish that curled like dried skin. The fourth door, unlike the others, looked almost new, its panels smooth. No marks, no dust. Although the house had not been inhabited for years. Then Ethan saw the fifth door. It was at the far end of the hall, almost hidden in shadow. Unlike the others, it had no doorknob, no keyhole, and no hinge lines to show where it opened. It was a perfect slab of black wood, almost glossy, and carved with a faint symbol that looked like 2 arcs crossing one another. When he stepped closer, he felt it not physically, but in his mind, a pressure rising behind his eyes. Like something on the other side was leaning close, listening. Ethan set his equipment on the floor. He took notes describing every detail. The townsfolk said the 5 doors represented 5 events that had destroyed the family who once lived there. Only the 5th door had never been opened because it was not meant to be opened by human hands. Ethan touched the surface. The wood pulsed warm like skin. He jerked back. His flashlight flickered. The portraits on the wall rattled. Then the first door on the left creaked softly, opening just an inch. Ethan turned instantly, raising his light. A cold draft seeped from inside, carrying a faint whisper he could not understand. Something moved behind him. He spun, expecting to find an animal, or maybe just his own imagination. But his shadow on the wall stretched suddenly longer, as if something behind him towered over him. Ethan forced himself to breathe slowly. He had been in dozens of haunted places. He knew fear had to be controlled. He approached the first door. The air thickened. His pulse hammered in his neck. When he pushed the door fully open, the smell of stagnant water rushed out. Inside was a small bathroom lit only by the weak beam of his flashlight. The mirror above the sink was shattered, spider webbing across its surface. The bathtub was filled with dark water, though no plumbing worked in the house. Ethan stepped closer, keeping the beam steady. The surface of the water rippled as if disturbed by something beneath. He crouched. For a moment, there was nothing but the trembling reflection of his own light. Then a pale hand shot out of the water, grabbing the edge of the tub. Ethan stumbled backwards, slamming into the hallway wall. The hand was thin, almost translucent water streaming down its fingertips. Another hand rose, gripping the porcelain edge. Then a face surfaced, eyes milky white, mouth hanging open in a silent scream. Ethan rushed out, slamming the door. The sound echoed through the hall, bouncing off the walls like it belonged to a much larger house. He stood still, listening. The house went quiet again. Too quiet. He knew he should leave. Any sensible person would. But curiosity had always ruled him more than fear. He steadied his breathing and continued examining the hall. The second door vibrated softly, as if something pressed against it from within. The third door dripped a dark liquid that smelled like burnt wood. The fourth door remained spotless, unnaturally clean, untouched by time. But the fifth door drew his attention again. It pulsed, not with warmth this time, but with a sound like breathing, slow, rhythmic, careful. Ethan wrote his final note for the hour. The fifth door is not a door at all. It is a threshold waiting for something. But waiting for what? He stepped back, lifting his flashlight. That was when he saw the shadow again, the one that did not match his shape. It stretched from the fifth door toward him, reaching long fingers across the wooden floor. Ethan froze. The shadow rose slowly, forming a human shape. Tall and slender, head tilted like it was studying him. Then it stepped forward, though nothing physical moved. The shadow detached itself from the door, pulling free from the darkness, like ink spilled in reverse. Ethan stumbled back, bumping into the front door, but it would not open. He shoved it again. It stayed locked. The shadow drifted closer, not walking, drifting, its hollow face tilted. Ethan lifted the flashlight, but the beam bent around the figure, like light itself refused to touch it. "Help me," the shadow whispered, but the voice did not come from it. It came from behind the fifth door. Ethan swallowed hard. His throat felt scraped raw. Something pounded from inside that door, slow at first, then faster. The symbol on the wood glowed faintly like embers catching breath. Ethan reached for his equipment. but it slid across the floor away from him, as if pushed by invisible hands. The house wanted him to stay. No, not stay witness. The pounding behind the fifth door grew louder, echoing like footsteps from a different world. The shadow leaned forward, its whisper now desperate. "Open it. Let her out." Ethan shook his head, backing toward the staircase. He did not know who her was, and he did not want to know. The house began to humming in a deep, low vibration that rattled the window frames. The portraits swung on their nails. Dust rained from the ceiling. The fifth door cracked. A thin line of red light sliced through the darkness like an eye opening. Ethan turned and ran, stumbling up the stairs as the house moaned behind him. The last thing he heard before he reached the second floor was a voice seeping through the crack, soft, familiar, almost human. "Ethan, I remember you." He froze, gripping the stair rail. His breath stopped because the voice did not belong to a stranger. It belonged to someone he had lost long ago. Someone who should not be in this house. Someone who should not be alive. The fifth door groaned, opening another inch, and the house whispered again, "You should not have come back, Ethan." Ethan forced himself to breathe as he reached the top of the staircase. The air on the second floor was even colder than the hall below. It clung to his skin like a thin layer of ice. His heartbeat thudded through his ears, but he moved slowly, methodically, reminding himself that fear had never stopped him before. The fifth door had cracked open, and someone who should not be alive had spoken his name. The house was changing, reacting to his presence, and every instinct screamed at him to leave. But another instinct, stronger, deeper, kept him rooted. He needed answers. He needed to know why the house knew him. The second floor stretched into a narrow corridor with only 3 rooms. 2 doors on the left and 1 door on the right, all slightly ajar as if waiting. The wallpaper here peeled in long strips like shedding skin. The wooden floor bowed under his steps. A faint hum drifted from below, like the house still breathed through the cracked fifth door. Ethan raised his flashlight and looked behind him. No shadow, at least not yet. He entered the first room on the left. It appeared to be a bedroom. The bed frame was metal rusted and bent inward as if crushed by weight. The mattress had collapsed into dust, leaving only coils exposed like broken ribs. A dresser stood against the far wall, its drawers pulled open as if someone had rifled through them in panic. The mirror on top was intact, but the surface was fogged over like someone had breathed on it moments before. Ethan approached slowly. His reflection appeared faint, blurry, then slowly came into focus. But something was wrong. His reflection was smiling. Ethan was not. The corners of the reflected mouth lifted wider, impossibly wide, pulling upward as if the face were being stretched by invisible hooks. Ethan stepped back, his breath catching. The reflection froze mid-smile, then its mouth moved, forming silent words. "You came back for her." Her. The same her the shadow had mentioned downstairs. Ethan swallowed. Memories he had buried long ago pressed at the edges of his mind, but he forced them away. He reached out and touched the mirror. The glass vibrated like warm skin. Suddenly, a hand slammed against the other side, leaving a bloody smear on the surface. Ethan stumbled backward, hitting the bed frame. The reflection changed again. A woman, now long hair floating as if underwater, eyes hollow, pleading. Ethan knew that face. He had seen it in photographs during his college years. Her name was Lily Morgan, and she had vanished without explanation 12 years ago. A breath whispered behind him. He spun, but the room was empty. When he turned back, the mirror showed only his own frightened expression. The woman was gone. The smile was gone. Only dust remained. Ethan exited the room, gripping the wall to steady himself. His memories blurred. Lily had been important to him more than he ever admitted. Her disappearance had been the reason he pursued horror stories in the first place, hoping to make sense of the unexplained. But this house should not know her, should not know him, unless he had been here before. He moved to the second door on the left. This room was smaller, lit by a single cracked window. A rocking chair sat in the corner, gently swaying though there was no wind. The wooden floor around it was scratched in circular patterns, as if something had dragged itself around the chair repeatedly. On the opposite wall, chalk drawings covered the plaster, dozens of them, rough, childlike sketches of people with hollow eyes. Some drawings were crossed out violently, others smeared, as if someone had tried to erase them but failed. One drawing stood apart from the rest. It depicted a tall figure with long limbs and a stretched shadow towering over a door marked with the symbol from downstairs. Beneath the drawing, in trembling handwriting, were the words, "Do not open the fifth door. Do not let her out. Do not listen to the voice." Ethan stepped closer, studying the symbol. The chalk line pulsed faintly as if mimicking a heartbeat. He reached out reflexively, but the moment his finger touched the wall, the chalk melted like wax, dripping downward, then reforming into new shapes. A face emerged, crude, childish, but unmistakable. Lily. The rocking chair stopped suddenly. Ethan jerked toward it. Standing beside the chair was a small figure, a child. Pale hair matted, covering half its face, tiny fingers twitching. The child lifted its head slightly, revealing empty sockets where eyes should have been. It opened its mouth, letting out a low, rattled whisper. "You left her. You left us." Ethan froze. The child stepped forward, one foot dragging across the floor, leaving a long scratch. It raised an arm, pointing directly at him. "You came back too late." Ethan backed toward the door, reaching for the knob. The child moved faster than he expected, appearing inches from his face. Something cold and sharp grazed his cheek like a fingernail made of bone. Ethan shoved the child aside, bolting out of the room and slamming the door. He held the knob, but no impact came. The hallway was silent again. His breathing came in ragged bursts. His hands trembled uncontrollably. The house was not showing random hauntings. It was showing him Lily, showing his guilt, his past. It knew him intimately. The last door at the end of the hall beckoned half open. Ethan approached cautiously, shining his light inside before stepping through. It was a study room. Shelves lined the walls, but most books were missing, leaving dark rectangular shadows. A desk sat in the center, covered in papers, brittle and yellowed. On top, lay a single photograph face down. Ethan lifted it slowly, his stomach twisted. It was a photo of him and Lily standing in front of this house. The date on the back read 12 years ago, but Ethan had no memory of ever being here before. His mind reeled. Was it possible he tried to recall every detail of their time together, but the memories felt fractured, like pieces torn from a larger puzzle he never knew existed? Footsteps echoed behind him, slow, deliberate, ascending the stairs. Ethan froze. The footsteps reached the top. Silence followed. He turned off his flashlight, holding his breath. The dark pressed around him, thick, suffocating. Then a soft voice drifted down the hall. Ethan, please. Lily. It was Lily, unmistakably, her voice fragile and shaking, as if calling from a place far beneath the house. Ethan stepped into the hallway. The voice came again. Ethan, come back. He moved toward the staircase, drawn by instinct, emotion, guilt. When he reached the top step, a hand gripped the banister from below. Not Lily's hand, a blackened skeletal hand dripping something thick and dark. Another hand appeared, grabbing the step. Then a head rose. A hollow face stretched thin with jagged teeth and empty sockets. The creature climbed slowly, body contorting like broken bones, resetting themselves with each movement. Ethan stumbled backward. The creature spoke in Lily's voice. Ethan, come back. Help me. The voice cracked, splitting into layers, revealing something deeper beneath it, something monstrous. The creature lunged, crawling up the stairs with unnatural speed. Ethan ran down the hall, heart pounding. The house trembled, walls shuddering as if something massive moved within them. The doors behind him slammed open one by one, releasing cold air blasts that pushed him forward. He reached the far end of the hall, where a large window overlooked the dark yard below. He tried to open it, but it was sealed shut. The creature shrieked behind him, voice splitting into multiple tones, layering Lily's plea with growls. Ethan, do not leave. He grabbed a wooden chair, swinging it against the window. The glass cracked, then shattered. As he struck again, cold night air rushed in. Ethan hoisted himself onto the ledge. Glancing back, the creature was inches from him, its mouth stretching open wider than humanly possible. Its voice gurgled Lily's name, then twisted into a new phrase. You belong to the door. Ethan pushed off the ledge, dropping into the overgrown grass below. Pain shot through his leg, but he forced himself up, limping away from the house. The windows flickered with red light. The fifth door below pounded again, louder than before. The house groaned like a living thing awakening. Ethan reached the fence, collapsing against it. Behind him, the house fell silent. No creature followed, no voice called. But in the faint breeze that drifted from the open window, he heard it again, soft, almost loving. Ethan, you cannot run from what you open. He clenched his jaw, looking back at the cracked window and the dark interior beyond. Something in that house wanted him, something that knew him, something that had waited 12 years for him to return. And he knew this was only the beginning. Ethan limped through the backyard grass, his leg throbbing from the fall. The cold night pressed against his skin, numbing his fingers as he steadied himself against an old tree trunk. His breath came in short bursts, the chill thickening with every exhale. Behind him, the The house loomed silent again, as if nothing inside had moved or called his name. A still predator waiting for him to make the next mistake. The cracked window on the second floor hung open like a gaping mouth, watching him. Ethan stared at it, trembling not from cold, but from the way the darkness inside seemed alive. He swallowed hard. He knew he needed distance. He needed clarity. Yet even as he stepped farther from the house, something inside him pulled back toward it. Memories half-formed swirled in his mind. Lily standing by his side, her laughter echoing down empty streets, her vanishing without explanation, and the faint image of this very house flickering behind his eyes like a dream he had forgotten or chosen to forget. But the question remained torturing him. Had he been here before? And if he had, why could he not remember? A faint, static noise cut through the quiet. Ethan froze, scanning the yard. The noise grew sharper, like a radio signal struggling to form words. His equipment bag, he saw it half buried in the grass where he dropped it when he escaped. He hurried toward it. The recorder inside flickered with a weak red light. It had turned on by itself. Ethan picked it up cautiously. The static filled the cold air, pulsing in uneven waves. Then through the distortion a voice formed. Ethan, his blood went cold. It was Lily's voice again, but clearer than before, trembling as if trapped between two worlds. Ethan tightened his grip and spoke into the recorder, though his voice shook. "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The recorder hissed, then answered, "You left me here." Ethan felt the ground tilt. That was impossible. He had not been here. He had never been in this house, not even in this part of the state. But Lily's voice came again, more forceful, louder. "Ethan, you promised." A sudden violent crack split the air. Ethan turned. A tall figure stood by the back door of the house, not the creature from before. This one was human-sized, its silhouette familiar. A woman's figure, Lily, long hair drifting in the wind, though there was no wind. Her head tilted as she stared at him. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. He took a step forward, but the figure vanished instantly like smoke dispersing. No, he would not run again. He needed the truth, but the pain in his leg reminded him he needed help first. He headed toward his car parked near the old fence. The rusty gate groaned as he pushed through. The moment he passed beyond the yard, the cold lessened slightly, though not enough to comfort him. He reached his car, gripping the handle, relieved to finally escape the nightmare. The handle burned his hand. Ethan yelped, pulling back. The metal glowed faintly, a deep red that pulsed like a heartbeat. He stepped away, breathing heavily, as frost grew across the car windows, forming long, branching veins. Then words began appearing on the frost as though carved by invisible fingers. "Come back!" Ethan stumbled backward, shaking his head. The house was not letting him leave, but he refused to surrender. He turned away from the car, heading toward the road, planning to run if he had to. But as he stepped forward, the world around him shifted. The trees bent, the grass wavered, the sky darkened unnaturally as clouds swirled overhead, forming a spiraled vortex directly above the house. Ethan staggered and fell to his knees as an overwhelming pressure slammed down on him. A deep voice boomed through the air, not human, not even close, not Lily, something older, something vast. "You opened what must remain sealed." The ground trembled trembled beneath him. The wind roared, rising like a storm contained within a single breath. Ethan pressed his palms against the earth, struggling to stay upright. The house groaned behind him, its walls bending inward then outward, like lungs drawing breath. The fifth door was not just a door. It was alive. It was calling. The pressure intensified. Ethan felt his vision blur, edges dissolving. He forced himself to stand, gripping a nearby fence post. His knees buckled, but he lifted his head, staring at the swirling sky. A red glow pulsed from every window of the house. The air reeked of metal and rot. Ethan felt something creeping along his spine, like icy fingers tracing his bones. Then everything stopped. The wind ceased. The sky froze. The glow vanished. Silence returned so abruptly, Ethan nearly collapsed from the release of tension. Then footsteps echoed behind him, soft, unmistakable. Ethan, he turned slowly. Lily stood only a few feet away. This time her face was clear, eyes bright blue just as he remembered. Skin pale but warm, not ghostly. Her lips trembled. Ethan stepped closer, whispering, "Lily, is it really you?" She shook her head, tears forming. "You promised you would not forget me." Ethan reached for her, but her form flickered briefly, revealing a hollow shadow beneath. Before restoring, Lily stepped back, clutching her arms as though she were cold. "The door, Ethan. You should not have opened it." "I did not open anything," he said painfully. "I only touched it." Her expression darkened. "That is enough to wake it." A low rumble rolled across the yard like thunder underground. Lily looked over her shoulder at the house, fear etching her face. She stepped closer, her voice trembling. "Ethan, it wants you. It has always wanted you. You were the one who brought me here." Ethan froze. That was a lie. He had no memory of coming here with her. He backed away, shaking his head. "Lily, no, I did not. I would remember." She reached toward him, her hand shaking. "Not if it took the memory from you. Not if you let it in." Ethan felt his chest tighten. The recorder in his hand buzzed violently, then clicked off. Lily's form flickered again, revealing the thin, stretched creature beneath the illusion. Her face elongated, her eyes hollowed, her voice warped. "You cannot leave, Ethan. Not again." Ethan turned and ran despite the pain tearing through his leg. He sprinted back toward the house, not by choice, but because the world warped around him, forcing every direction to lead toward the decaying porch. No matter how he turned, the yard bent. The ground shifted, the air twisted, guiding him back inside. He reached the front steps, gasping as the door opened on its own. Warm red light spilled into the night, casting long shadows that writhed like living things. Ethan screamed for help, though no one was near enough to hear. He stumbled inside, falling onto the hallway floor. The fifth door at the end of the hall was now wide open. A deep red glow bled from the doorway, painting the walls like dripping paint. Shapes moved inside shadows, twisting around one another. A long, low breath drifted from the darkness, filling the entire house. Something ancient had awakened. Ethan tried to crawl away, but the shadows reached for him, stretching across the floor, gripping his ankles. He kicked wildly, but the darkness held tight, pulling him closer to the open door. The house trembled, the walls swelling and shrinking like a giant creature breathing. Then through the roar, he heard her voice again. Soft, gentle, familiar. Ethan, do not let it take you. He lifted his head. Lily stood at the top of the stairs, tears streaming down her pale face. Not the creature's illusion, not a shadow. Her. He felt it. She reached out her hand, pleading. Fight it, Ethan. Remember me. The shadows tightened. The red glow flared, blinding him. The voice of the ancient presence boomed once more, shaking the entire house. You opened what you cannot close. Ethan screamed as he was dragged toward the fifth door. The darkness swallowing the hallway, the walls twisting inwards. Lily's voice broke through one last time. Ethan, please. Then everything went black. Darkness tightened around Ethan like a fist as consciousness returned in sharp, painful bursts. His ears rang, his body trembled. For several seconds, he lay still, unsure if he was alive or dead. But then the familiar stench of the house settled over him, thick like damp earth mixed with rust. He opened his eyes slowly. The floor beneath him was warm, almost pulsing. He pushed himself up, fighting dizziness. Red light leaked through the cracks in the walls, beating like a heart. He was inside the house again, not dragged through the fifth door as he feared. Instead, he lay in the foyer, his body curled near the staircase where he had first entered hours earlier. Though it felt like days, the portraits on the wall were different now, their eyes wide, no longer faded. They stared directly at him, pupils following his movements. He stood slowly, gripping the wall to steady himself. His legs screamed but held. Ethan tried to recall the moment before he blacked out. The fifth door open, shadows pulling him, Lily calling. His memories blurred like wet ink smudged across paper. The house had taken something from him again. He felt hollow, less human somehow. He reached for the flashlight attached to his belt. It flickered weakly when he clicked it on, struggling against the unnatural dark that filled the hall. Ethan took a step forward. The house creaked in response, floorboards bending slightly as though adjusting to his weight, almost welcoming him. No, not welcoming, preparing. Shadows drifted along the floor like spilled oil, crawling toward the baseboards and vanishing. A cold whisper swept through the hall. Ethan, come back. Lily's voice again. But was it her? Or was it the thing using her memory like bait? He could no longer trust his senses, but still her voice stabbed through him, stirring old guilt. He needed answers, and the only place to find them was behind the fifth door. But he was not ready, not yet. He needed understanding before he faced whatever ancient presence waited there. The second floor, the rooms had shown him pieces of his past, maybe more truths hid above. He moved to the staircase, carefully placing his weight on the railing. The steps groaned but held. When he reached the second floor, the hallway lights flickered to life one by one, though the house had no electricity. Pale yellow bulbs buzzed overhead, casting long, warped shadows across the peeling wallpaper. The doors he had seen before stood slightly open, as if expecting him, but something had changed. The chalk room door was now covered in symbols carved deep into the wood, strange looping runes that pulsed softly like veins glowing beneath skin. Ethan hesitated, then entered. The chalk drawings were gone. Instead, words covered the walls, written in black ink, dripping like blood. Thousands of sentences overlapping, crossing through one another. But one phrase repeated more than any other. He brought her here. He brought her here. He brought her here. Ethan felt the air thin, constricting his lungs. He backed against the wall, scanning the writing, searching for something familiar. A memory flared, sharp and sudden. Lily smiling at him, a map in her hand, pointing toward a location she wanted to explore. Her voice bright with excitement. "You love abandoned places, Ethan. Come with me one last time." He had agreed. He remembered now. A fragment, maybe true, maybe twisted, but memory nonetheless. He squeezed his temples, trying to dig deeper. But the harder he tried, the stronger the pain grew, until the buzzing lights sparked overhead. Then came footsteps, tiny light-scraping footsteps circling behind him. The child, the hollow-eyed creature from the chalk room. Ethan spun, shining his flashlight into the corners. Nothing, but the footsteps grew louder, moving along the ceiling directly above him. He looked up slowly, a small face pressed against the plaster surface, bulging outward as if pushing through thin paper. Gaping sockets, jagged mouth. "You left us, Ethan." The ceiling cracked. Ethan dove toward the door as the plaster split, exploding outward. The child creature dropped from above, landing on all fours like a twisted animal. Its head snapped toward him, body twitching with unnatural spasms. Ethan scrambled backward. The creature lunged. He swung the flashlight, striking its head with a sickening crack. Its body jittered, then dissolved into black smoke, leaking through the floorboards. Ethan gasped, gripping his shaking hands. The house was not only showing memories now, it was manifesting them, using his fear as form. He backed into the hall, chest heaving. His flashlight flickered violently, then died, plunging him into darkness. But faint red light leaked from the far end near the last unknown door he had not opened before. The study, but the layout had changed. The hallway elongated, twisted, subtly forcing perspective to shift. The once straight corridor curved slightly like the spine of a massive creature. He followed the red light until he reached the door. It creaked open by itself. Inside the room looked different from earlier. The desk remained, but papers now floated in the air, suspended like feathers. A faint wind circled the room despite the closed windows. Ethan stepped inside cautiously. The photograph he found earlier lay on the desk again, though he had dropped it during his escape. As he stepped closer, the image shifted before his eyes. It now showed only Lily standing in front of the house. Ethan's figure erased completely. Lily's face distorted. Her smile stretched unnaturally wide, exposing sharp teeth. Her eyes hollow. Ethan reached out, shaking. The photograph pulsed beneath his fingers, then burned, dissolving into ash that swirled through the air. The entire room trembled. A voice rose behind him. Deep, ancient, layered Ethan Carter. "You remember because we allow it." He turned. The walls rippled like fabric, revealing shapes moving beneath. Human shapes stretching, pushing against the surface as if trapped inside the walls themselves. Ethan stumbled back, horrified. A dozen hands reached outward from beneath the wallpaper, clawing at invisible barriers. Voices layered over one another whispered, Let us out. Let her out. Do not open the door. Open the door. The contradictions mixed, building into a cacophony that vibrated Ethan's bones. He clutched his ears, dropping to one knee. A cold hand touched his shoulder. He flinched, turning. Lily again. But this Lily looked real, human. Tears glistened in her eyes. Ethan, please, you need to remember everything. You brought me here. You opened the door once before. Ethan's breath caught. That was impossible. He had never been in this house before today. But Lily stepped closer, brushing her cold fingers along his jaw. Not today, Ethan. Years ago. You opened it for me. You let it take me. A memory slammed into him, sharp and unforgiving. He saw himself standing in front of the fifth door 12 years ago, his hand pressed against the black surface. Lily behind him smiling nervously, a whisper rising from behind the door promising answers to the mysteries they sought. Ethan pushing the door, light roaring through, Lily screaming. Ethan collapsed as the memory tore through him. He gasped, shaking violently. Lily knelt beside him, her expression soft, filled with sorrow. You forgot me, Ethan. You let it erase me from you. Ethan stared at her voice, breaking Lily. I did not mean to. I did not know. Before she could answer, the room shook violently. The walls split open, revealing the shadow figure from earlier towering, filling the narrow space. Its hollow face turned toward Ethan as it whispered, "The door remembers you, and it is hungry." Lily screamed as the shadow surged forward, tendrils of darkness erupting from its body. Ethan rolled aside, barely avoiding the strike. The tendrils slammed into the floor, cracking wood like brittle bone. Ethan grabbed a fallen bookshelf, using it as cover, while the creature tore through the room. Lily's voice came again. Ethan, run, but do not go to the fifth door. Not yet. You must see the truth first. Ethan pushed through the study door, stumbling back into the hall. The house roared behind him, the walls trembling as the shadow creature followed. Ethan sprinted as fast as his injured leg allowed. The hallway stretched, twisted, elongated, distorting his path. Portraits screamed, their faces melting into black streaks. He reached the staircase and leapt down steps two at a time. At the bottom, he turned toward the front door. It slammed shut on its own. The fifth door pulsed at the other end, glowing brighter than ever as the shadow creature descended the stairs in twisting, unnatural motion. Ethan backed away, breathing hard. The house whispered in 100 voices, "You opened it once. You will open it again." And for the first time, Ethan felt truth settle into his bones. The house did not trap him. He had always been part of it. Ethan stood frozen at the bottom of the staircase as the entire house shifted around him like a living organism adjusting its bones. The fifth door pulsed with red light at the end of the hallway, each throb pushing a hot wave of air through the foyer. His breath caught in his throat. The truth Lily had revealed tore through him like broken glass. He had opened the door once before. He had brought her here. He was the reason she was taken. The house had not chosen him at random. It remembered him because he belonged to it. His leg throbbed, but he forced himself backward, crawling away from the glowing door. The shadows slithered across the floor, following him, but stopped just short of his feet, as if they were waiting for permission. Ethan pressed his back against the staircase railing, gasping for breath. He closed his eyes, trying to focus. He needed clarity. He needed answers. And he only had one place left to search before facing the fifth door again. The basement. It had not been part of his earlier exploration. The house had steered him away from it, hiding it, protecting something. Now he understood why. Whatever truth he had forgotten 12 years ago was buried in the dark beneath the house. Ethan turned. The basement door was barely visible in the dim light beneath the stairs, a narrow wooden slab with no markings. He pushed himself to stand. The house creaked disapprovingly, as if sensing his intention. The red glow dimmed, but the shadows tightened around the walls like watching eyes. Ethan grabbed the handle. It was ice cold. He swallowed and twisted. The door opened with a long groan. A rush of stale air spilled out, carrying the scent of damp dirt and something older. Metallic. A staircase descended into darkness, lit only by a faint blue glow pulsing from below. Ethan took a deep breath and stepped down. Each creaking stair felt softer than the last, as though the wood decayed beneath his feet at his touch. The air thickened, pressing against his chest. As he descended deeper, the sound of whispering echoed upward. Hundreds of voices layered atop one another, impossible to discern. He reached the bottom. The basement stretched into a vast chamber, far larger than the house above. Dirt walls curved upward, forming a dome supported by thick beams that looked far too ancient to belong to any human construction. Strange runes, similar to the ones carved into the upstairs door, glowed faintly along the walls. At the center of the chamber stood a stone pedestal. Ethan approached cautiously. Upon it lay an old leather-bound book, cracked with age. Dust swirled above it, as though the book had stirred at his arrival. He reached out slowly and touched the cover. The whispering stopped. Silence rushed in so quickly it hurt his ears. Then the book snapped open. Pages flipped violently as if caught in a storm, though no wind existed in the basement. The pages slowed, then stopped on a single illustration. It showed him Ethan Carter standing before the fifth door, his younger self, 12 years ago, with his hand pressed against the surface while Lily stood behind him, smiling nervously. Ethan's heart hammered. He touched the illustration and another memory burst through him. He remembered holding the book before, Lily laughing as she translated ancient inscriptions, a ritual for opening forbidden thresholds, a promise of seeing what lies beneath reality. Ethan had followed her curiosity. He had guided her here. But why? A voice answered from the darkness. Because you wanted to know. Ethan spun. Lily stood near the far wall, her form flickering between human and spectral. Her expression was sorrowful, her eyes dim. You wanted the truth more than you wanted me. You opened it because it promised answers, and it took me, because that was the cost. Ethan staggered backward. No, that is not true. Lily, I would have never sacrificed you. She stepped closer. Her face flickered again, revealing the monstrous hollow creature beneath. Then shifting back to human. You did not sacrifice me, Ethan. You forgot me. The chamber trembled violently. A crack split across the ceiling. Dust rained down. Ethan shielded his eyes. Lily backed away, trembling. It is waking. We must hurry. Ethan grabbed the book, tucking it under his arm. The runes on the wall flared bright blue, illuminating the chamber with unnatural light. Shadows crawled along the floor, rising like smoke. A deep, guttural voice boomed from beneath the house. "Ethan Carter, return to the door," Lily screamed. Ethan grabbed her arm, though his hand passed through her slightly like touching water. She steadied herself. "We must leave now." They sprinted toward the stairs. The ground heaved beneath them. The shadows formed clawed hands gripping at Ethan's ankles. He kicked free, stumbling onto the staircase. Lily turned back toward the chamber as if drawn to it. "Lily, come on." She hesitated, pain crossing her face. "I cannot leave yet." Not fully. Another tremor ripped through the basement. A massive shape rose beneath the dirt, its outline impossible to understand, like the suggestion of a creature only half existing in this reality. Ethan pulled Lily upward. She followed, though her form distorted, fading in and out with each step. They reached the top as the basement door slammed shut behind them, sealing the darkness below. Ethan collapsed into the foyer, panting. Lily knelt beside him, her voice soft. "The book remembers what you lost. It holds the truth the house erased." Ethan looked down at the ancient book. The cover pulsed faintly like a heartbeat. "What is the truth, Lily? What did I forget?" She shook her head. "Not here. The house listens. Find the room you have not entered, the one the house hides." Ethan froze. There was one room he had never seen, one door he had never noticed. The attic. He lifted his gaze toward the ceiling. A narrow hatch was barely visible above the staircase. The edges glowed faint red, as though something inside breathed firelight. The house groaned, walls bending inward. Lily's form flickered. "Go, Ethan, before the door calls you again." Ethan stood gripping the book tightly. Shadows coiled around the walls, watching him. The fifth door pulsed once more. Impatient, he stepped toward the staircase. Toward the attic, the house whispered his name in 1,000 voices. "Ethan," and the floorboards creaked like a heartbeat, waiting for him to climb. Ethan gripped the railing as he climbed the staircase once more. The ancient book pressed tightly under his arm. Every step groaned, as if warning him to turn back. The air thickened, growing warmer, unlike the icy breath that haunted the lower floors. It felt alive, pulsing faintly as though the house exhaled with every movement he made. Shadows curled against the walls, slithering upward toward the attic hatch like loyal servants awaiting their master. The fifth door glowed below, trembling impatiently, but Ethan forced himself to ignore it. Lily had told him the truth was hidden above, not behind the door. If he faced the attic first, maybe he could regain his memories, maybe even save her before the entity fully awakened. But a small part of him whispered the truth he tried to deny. The house was guiding him, and he did not know whether it guided him towards salvation or slaughter. He reached the top of the stairs. The attic hatch loomed overhead, its edges glowing with a faint red light, pulsing like a heartbeat. The rope dangling from the hatch swayed gently, even though the air was still. Ethan reached up. The moment he touched the rope, the entire house moaned. He froze. The sound was not the creaking of wood. It was deeper, older. The groan of something immense waking beneath the foundation. His hand trembled. but he pulled the rope anyway. The hatch snapped open. A rush of warm air spilled downward, carrying the scent of burnt dust and something sweet like decayed flowers. A wooden ladder slid out, unfolding itself as though an invisible hand guided each hinge. Ethan swallowed hard, stepping upward into the dark. The attic was enormous, much larger than the structure of the house should allow. The ceiling arched high above him, forming a warped dome. Wooden beams twisted overhead like ribs forming a cage. Strange symbols burned into the wood, glowed faint red. The entire space felt distorted like a dream half remembered. Ethan raised his flashlight. That was when he saw the names. Thousands of names carved into the wooden walls, written in shaky hands, overlapping and crossing through one another. Some old and faded, others fresh. But one thing was clear. Every name was the same. Ethan Carter. He stumbled backward, nearly dropping the book. His heart pounded violently. He skimmed the walls. Each carving was in a different handwriting style, scratched in desperation. Ethan Carter repeated endlessly, circling the entire attic. No, this was impossible. The house was lying, manipulating him, but the truth settled like ice into his spine. Every time the house erased him, every time he returned, every time he opened the door again, every version of him left his name behind. A looping cycle, a prison of memory. Something shifted behind him. Ethan spun, lifting the flashlight. A figure stood in the shadows near the far corner. Small, pale, trembling. Lily, but younger, much younger, maybe 18. Her face streaked with tears, her hair matted. She hugged her knees, staring at him with hollow eyes. You never came back, Ethan. You left me here alone. Ethan shook his head, his voice cracking. Lily, that is not what happened. I forgot. The house erased you. It erased everything. She blinked slowly. Or maybe you let it erase me. Her face flickered, and Ethan gasped. For a brief moment, she vanished, replaced by a twisted creature with elongated limbs and hollow eye sockets. Then she returned, appearing human again. She stood slowly, her small hands trembling. Do you know what happens to the ones it takes, Ethan Carter? His throat tightened. He did not want to know, but she stepped closer, her voice breaking. It keeps us, all of us, versions of us trapped between moments, waiting, watching you return again and again. Ethan's vision blurred. He looked down at the book in his hands. It pulsed faintly, glowing through the leather. This book, he whispered. It remembers what I lost. Lily nodded. Yes, but it does more than that. It holds the key to closing the door. The real door, not the one downstairs. Ethan froze. The fifth door in the hallway was not the true threshold. That meant something far worse awaited him. Where is the real door? She shook her head. Not in this world. Before he could question her, the attic trembled violently. Dust rained down. The beams groaned. The carvings on the walls began to glow a deep red. One by one, the repeated versions of his name ignited like burning embers. The house spoke in a low rumble. Ethan Carter belongs to the door. Lily screamed, grabbing his arm. Run before it takes you again. Ethan turned toward the ladder, but it snapped upward, slamming shut, trapping them inside. Chains materialized across the hatch, locking it in place. Lily backed up, stumbling as the wall behind her split open, revealing dozens of shadowy hands reaching outward. Ethan opened the book, desperately flipping pages. The writings blurred, then formed symbols matching those carved into the attic beams. A diagram showed a circle split by two arcs, the same symbol burned onto the fifth door. A ritual, a reversal, a way to break the cycle. He needed to speak the words, but the language felt wrong. Ancient, twisting at his tongue whenever he tried to sound it out. Lily screamed again. Ethan turned. The shadow creature from the study had climbed into the attic, its body twisting as it crawled along the beams. It lowered its hollow face toward them, whispering in layered voices. "You remember. You return. You open. You are ours." Ethan backed up, clutching the book. The creature dropped to the floor, its limbs cracking like snapping branches. It towered over him, tendrils dripping shadows that pooled across the wooden boards. Lily stepped between them, though the creature barely acknowledged her, like she were nothing more than a faded memory. Ethan shouted, "You took her! You took all of us!" The creature tilted its head. "We take what is offered. I did not offer her, but you opened the door." The shadow lunged. Ethan raised the book instinctively. The pages burst with red light. A shockwave exploded outward, hurling the creature across the attic. It struck the beams, shrieking as smoke poured from its body. Lily fell to her knees, clutching her head. Ethan felt energy tearing through him. The attic pulsed. The names on the walls flared brighter. He looked down. The book had opened to the ritual page again, the diagram glowing violently. Below it, the words had shifted into English. "Break the cycle. Speak the forgotten name." Ethan steadied himself. What name? The attic walls began to twist, the carved letters rearranging, reshaping, forming a single word on every plank of wood. Hers. Lily. He looked at her, trembling, broken, fading in and out like a failing reflection. Ethan whispered, "Lily Morgan." The walls shook, the beams groaned. The book levitated from his hands, glowing brighter than ever. Lily gasped, her form stabilizing for the first time since he had seen her. The creature shrieked, the shadows recoiled, the house roared. The attic floor split open, revealing swirling red void beneath like the mouth of something ancient. Lily reached for Ethan, tears streaming down her face. "You remembered me." Ethan grabbed her hands, pulling her close. "I will not forget you again. I will not let it take you." The void rumbled. A wind tore through the attic, dragging everything toward the opening. The creature clung to the beams, screaming in agony as tendrils unraveled. Ethan held Lily tight. The book pulsed between them. The ritual was working, but the house spoke one last time, its voice shaking the entire structure. "If you break the cycle, you will remember everything." Ethan hesitated. Lily whispered, "Ethan, please." He closed his eyes, and he spoke the name again, louder than before. "Lily Morgan." The attic exploded in red light, then silence. The house fell still. The carving of his names turned black. The void sealed shut. Ethan collapsed, holding Lily, who now felt almost solid, real warm. For the first time since entering the house, he felt hope. But the fifth door below began to crack open again, and Ethan realized the ritual was only the beginning. Silence held the house in a trembling pause. As Ethan and Lily knelt on the attic floor, floor surrounded by dead embers of fading red light. Dust settled around them like falling ash. For the first time since Ethan stepped inside the house, he felt the weight of an ancient presence recoil rather than advance. The ritual had worked, at least partially. Lily's form felt solid now, warm even though her skin still flickered faintly like light shifting through water. Ethan clutched her hand, breathing heavily. The attic around them groaned, as though waking from a nightmare. For a moment, neither of them moved, neither dared to. The house felt stunned, almost confused. Then the fifth door below boomed. The sound echoed through the entire structure, rattling beams and shaking dust from the ceiling. Ethan's heart lurched. Lily's grip tightened. It knows Ethan. It felt you break the first bond. He swallowed. What happens now? Lily looked toward the attic hatch, her expression tight with fear. Now it takes back control. A deafening crack ripped through the air. The floor beneath them trembled violently. The attic hatch shuddered. Chains rattled as they snapped loose and fell to the floor. The hatch swung violently open, slamming against the wood. The house exhaled hot, deep, deliberate. Ethan flinched as Lily pulled him to his feet. We have to move. They rushed to the ladder, but as Ethan climbed down the hallway below, stretched unnaturally, lengthening like a tunnel made of breathing flesh. The walls pulsed faintly with red veins running beneath the old wallpaper. Lily whispered, "The house is changing. It is preparing itself." "For what?" "To reclaim you." Ethan's breath shook. He helped Lily descend the last steps. The moment his feet touched the second floor, the lights overhead exploded one by one, sending sparks dancing across the warped wood. The temperature dropped sharply. Frost crawled along the walls, chasing the sparks. Then a whisper drifted through the corridor. "Ethan!" He spun, flashlight raised. The shadow creature crawled from the far end of the hall, not the same twisted form from before. This one was larger, its limbs bending backward like an insect's, its mouth elongated nearly to its chest. Its torso pulsed with red light. It dragged itself toward them, leaving trails of black tar smoking against the floorboards. Lily stepped behind Ethan, clutching his shirt. Ethan raised the book like a shield, but the pages no longer glowed. The ritual energy had faded. The creature hissed. "You spoke her name. Now speak yours." Ethan shook his head. "No." The creature lunged. Ethan dove aside, pulling Lily down with him. The creature slammed into the wall, cracking the wooden beams. Black tar dripped from its mouth, sizzling where it touched the floor. It turned, head cocked, listening. Then it crawled forward again, fast and jittering. "Ethan, help me." Lily's voice shook as the creature blocked their escape. Ethan grabbed her hand and pulled her into the nearest door, one of the second-floor bedrooms. He slammed it shut. Lily braced herself against it. The creature scratched once, twice, then it stopped. Silence. Ethan moved slowly to the window and peeked through the torn curtains. The hallway was empty. The creature was gone. "That is not good," Lily whispered. "It never disappears unless it is preparing something." Ethan turned, scanning the room with his flashlight. This bedroom differed from the others. The walls were covered in old photographs, pinned in messy clusters. Some were black and white portraits of family memories dating back decades. Others were blurred images of the house taken from strange angles. But what made Ethan's blood freeze were the photos covering the largest wall. Thousands of them, each one showing Ethan Carter inside the house at different ages. Ethan as a teenager, Ethan in his 20s, Ethan older, Ethan younger, repeated endlessly. He stumbled backward. Lily covered her mouth. The house remembers every version of you, Ethan. Every time you entered, every cycle you forgot, and every time you returned. Ethan shook his head. No, I do not remember this. I do not remember being here before. Lily stepped toward the photos, tracing one with trembling fingers. Because you forgot every time it took something from you. The fifth door boomed again. The photographs rippled like paper caught in wind. Ethan turned. We have to go now. They stepped into the hallway again, moving quickly. But the house was changing. The floorboards softened beneath Ethan's feet like wet soil. The wallpaper peeled itself away, revealing pulsing red veins. The railing along the staircase twisted, forming the shape of grasping fingers. Lily whispered, "The more you remember, the more the house comes alive." They reached the first floor landing. The foyer was breathing, literally rising and falling like the chest of a sleeping giant. The fifth door pulsed violently now, red light leaking from the cracks as if blood seeped through. Lily tugged Ethan's arm. "Do not go near it, not until you are ready." Ethan nodded, though his bones trembled. He turned toward the living room, the one room he had not entered yet on the first floor. As he stepped inside, the lights flickered to life. The room was pristine. Perfect, unlike the decayed ruins of the rest of the house. The wallpaper was clean, the furniture dustless. A fireplace crackled with fresh orange flame. A faint perfume hung in the air, sweet, nostalgic. Lily gasped softly. "Ethan, this room is not real." Ethan stepped forward, taken by the warmth. Photographs lined the mantelpiece, but these were different. They were not memories. They were possibilities. Ethan and Lily in a cabin. Ethan and Lily at a lake. Ethan and Lily with a child. Ethan older holding Lily's hand. A life he never lived. Lily whispered, "It is trying to rewrite your memories, trying to bury the truth under something you want." Ethan touched one of the frames. It dissolved into red dust. The fireplace crackled. The flames rose. A figure appeared in the firelight. A woman, older, with kind eyes, smiling softly at Ethan the way a mother might. Ethan froze. "Mom," the woman opened her arms. "Come home, Ethan. You have been away too long." Lily grabbed Ethan's wrist. "That is not her. It is using your memories." The woman stepped from the flames unharmed. Her voice softened. "You belong here, Ethan. With us." Lily stepped between them. "He belongs to no one." The woman's face twisted. Her smile cracked open, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. She lunged toward Lily. Ethan reacted instantly, slamming the ancient book into the creature's chest. A burst of red sparks exploded outward, throwing the creature across the room. It shrieked and melted into a dark stain on the wall. The fireplace died instantly. Silence returned. Ethan breathed shakily. "It is getting stronger." Lily nodded. "And It will keep getting stronger until it opens fully. They stepped back into the foyer. The fifth door was now halfway open. A violent red wind roared from within, pulling wallpaper, splinters, and dust into its widening maw. Ethan shielded his face. Lily screamed for him to hold on. The door called his name again, no longer whispering, but chanting. Ethan Carter, Ethan Carter, Ethan Carter. Lily grabbed his shoulders, turning him toward her. Listen to me. There is one truth left, one memory you have not recovered. You must remember it before the door opens completely, or it will claim you again. Ethan's vision blurred. His legs weakened. The book vibrated violently in his hands. What memory, Lily? What did I forget? She stepped closer, placing her forehead against his. The reason you opened the door the first time. The door boomed one final time, and the house swallowed their voices in red light. Red light swallowed Ethan and Lily as if the house itself inhaled them. The world twisted into a spiraling tunnel of darkness streaked with crimson veins, dropping them into a place that felt neither physical nor imagined. Ethan hit the ground hard, dirt grinding into his palms. He pushed himself up, breath trembling, and looked around. They were no longer inside the house, and yet they were. A vast field stretched in all directions, but the sky above was the warped ceiling of the foyer. The ground beneath them was soft earth, but the walls around the horizon were the same rotting wood of the hallway. The environment bent in on itself like a world halfway devoured by another dimension. Lily knelt beside him, her form flickering faintly, as though the light under her skin struggled to hold her shape together. Ethan whispered, "Where are we?" Lily looked around with haunted eyes. Inside its memory. The word made Ethan's blood chill. The air rippled. A low hum vibrated through the world. Shapes flickered on the distant horizon. Human silhouettes stumbling endlessly in circles. Ethan squinted. They all looked familiar. Too familiar. They were him. Dozens of Ethan Carters wandering aimlessly like trapped echoes. Some older, some younger, some limping, some screaming silently, all unaware of one another. Lily touched his arm softly. These are the versions of you the house kept after every cycle. The ones who did not escape. Ethan felt nausea rise in his throat. That many? How many times have I been here? Lily lowered her gaze. I do not know. Time does not move the same here. A crack boomed through the sky. The ceiling above split open, revealing a massive dark shape moving behind the fractured wood. A single huge eye peered through the crack, pupil long and vertical like a serpent's. It stared directly at Ethan. Lily grabbed his wrist. It sees you now. You broke its pattern, and it wants to know why. Ethan felt pressure crush his chest. That monstrous gaze pierced through his thoughts, digging for memories, his own memories. Suddenly the world lurched. The field around them dissolved into a street bright, modern, alive. Cars, people, sunlight. Ethan gasped. He was standing outside his old apartment building. Lily was next to him, staring in confusion. This is one of my memories, Ethan whispered. But the edges of the scene flickered like a glitching film reel. The entire street warped, bending to unnatural angles. The people walking past had empty, blurred faces. Their mouths moved, but no sound came out. Only the hum of the house's presence echoed behind them. Ethan watched his younger self exit the building, backpack slung over his shoulder, a notebook in hand. Lily's eyes widened. That was the day you left town, the day before you vanished. Ethan felt the weight of her words. Did I vanish or was I taken? Before he could answer, the house forced the memory forward. The sky dimmed. The world folded inward like painted paper, collapsing into a hallway. The hallway of the house. Young Ethan stood at the fifth door, notebook in one hand, the book, this same ancient book, in the other. Lily stood behind him, laughing softly as though unaware of the doom waiting for them. Ethan tried to move toward them, but his hand passed through the memory like smoke. Why can't I stop it? He whispered. Because, Lily said gently, you already lived it. You cannot change what happened, only understand it. The scene continued. Young Ethan pressed the book against the door, reading aloud a phrase in a language that twisted sound. Lily smiled nervously but trusted him completely. The door pulsed. A crack opened. Light poured out, red, violent, hungry. Lily screamed as the light pulled her in. Young Ethan stumbled backward, reaching for her but missing by inches. Then the light swallowed her. The memory froze. Ethan fell to his knees, shaking. I did not mean to. I tried to pull you out. Lily knelt beside him, placing a trembling hand on his shoulder. I know, but you still opened it. And after it took me, it took your memory so you would return. Again and again. Ethan's voice cracked. Why me? Why not someone else? Because Lily said with sorrowful eyes, you wanted answers. More than you wanted anything human. You were the perfect door. A violent tremor shattered the memory world. The scene around them collapsed into ash, blowing away until they stood again in the endless field of wandering Ethan echoes. Then something massive rose from the ground, a shape of impossible proportions, no limbs, no recognizable body, only a towering mass of shadow with hundreds of eyes opening and closing across its shifting form. A mouth appeared across the surface of the entity, stretching wider than any natural creature. It spoke without sound, its voice vibrating through bone and blood. Ethan Carter, return what is mine. Lily screamed as the ground split beneath them. Ethan grabbed her before she fell. The other Ethan echoes scattered in terror, running in every direction only to collide with invisible walls. The entity rose higher. You broke the cycle. Your memory belongs to me. Ethan shouted. I will not forget again. I will not let you take her. The creature's eyes snapped open in perfect unison. The world trembled violently. You cannot break what you are. You are the one who opened the door. Ethan felt the truth slam into him like a blow. The ancient book in his hand burned hot. Light surged through its pages. Lily gasped, Ethan, the book is responding. Use it. But Ethan stared at the monstrous being, its countless eyes, its shifting mouth, its presence that filled the world like a living nightmare. What do I do? He asked. Lily held his hand tighter. You must reclaim your memory. All of it. Only then can you break its hold. The creature roared, the world fracturing. Ethan lifted the book. Pages tore themselves free, swirling around him in a storm of glowing symbols. Each page carried a piece of the memory he had lost. The day he met Lily, the night they researched ancient rituals, the moment curiosity eclipsed caution, the choice he made, the door he opened, the life he destroyed. Lily placed her hand over Ethan's heart. "Remember me, remember everything." The entity shrieked as Ethan's memories burst back into him, flooding his mind with the truth he had denied for years. He had not been tricked. He had not been misled. He had opened the door willingly, and he could close it. Ethan roared into the collapsing world. "I remember." The field shattered into blinding white light. The echoes of other versions of himself dissolved. The creature recoiled, shrinking back as Ethan stood tall, gripping the book which now glowed like a dying star. The world folded inward. The red light vanished, and Ethan and Lily fell through the collapsing memory, landing hard on the wooden foyer floor. Back in the house, back before the fifth door. Only now, the fifth door was fully open. The foyer shook as Ethan and Lily landed hard on the wooden floor. The boards splintered beneath the impact, dust erupting into the air in choking clouds. Ethan coughed, pushing himself upright, his mind still spinning from the collapse of the memory world. Lily steadied herself beside him, her hand trembling as she touched her chest. The light beneath her skin flickered weakly, as if the journey through the creature's memory had drained what little strength held her form together. Ethan lifted his gaze. The fifth door was fully open, not cracked, not glowing, not whispering, open. A cavernous maw of swirling red energy churned within its frame, bending the air like heat rising from molten metal. The walls around the door rippled as though alive. The red light illuminated the entire foyer, painting every corner of the house in living scarlet veins. The floor vibrated beneath Ethan's palms. Something massive breathed on the other side, slow, deep, ancient. Lily grabbed Ethan's shoulder, her voice cracking. "Ethan, do not look into it." But he couldn't help it. The red vortex twisted into shapes, faces, silhouettes, moments from lifetimes he never remembered living. Dozens of his own forms stared back from inside the door, their eyes hollow, their mouths open in eternal silent screams. Ethan recoiled, clutching the ancient book to his chest. He whispered, "It kept all of them, all of me." Lily nodded with sorrow. "Every version of you who failed, every version that forgot, every version that believed the house was just a story to uncover." Ethan's voice shook. "How many?" "Too many," Lily answered softly. The foyer shook again. The vortex pulsed violently. A deep rumble rolled through the house, rattling the windows and bending the staircase rails. Dust slid down the walls in trembling waves. "It's waking fully," Lily whispered. "Whatever lives inside that threshold, it is no longer contained." Ethan's throat tightened. The creature, its true form, could be moments away from stepping through. "We have to stop it," Ethan said with a trembling determination he barely recognized as his own. Lily looked at the book in his hands. "That is why the book restored itself, why it brought your memories back. It is not only a record of the past, it is a key, one that can lock the door forever. But you must use it before the entity fully crosses." The red wind roared, pulling the debris toward the open door, Portraits flew off the walls. Chairs skidded across the floor. The house groaned under the force of the growing tempest. Ethan braced himself. What do I have to do? Lily swallowed hard, something she had not done since she became trapped in the house's grasp. You must speak the closing name. The what? She stepped closer, her form flickering. The creature took your memories so you would never know it. But now that you remember everything, the name should reveal itself. Ethan shook his head. I do not know it. I've never heard it. Lily stared into his eyes. You did, the moment you opened the door 12 years ago. You spoke it without understanding its meaning. Ethan felt the floor tilt beneath him. A faint whisper brushed the inside of his skull, a sound he hadn't heard since he was a different version of himself. A younger, reckless, curious man. A word that drew him to the house, pulled him across states, tore him from sleep for months until he finally found the door. The whisper grew louder. A name carved into the oldest pages of the book. A name that did not belong in any human tongue. Ethan felt it forming on his lips, but the moment he tried to speak it, a monstrous shriek ripped through the foyer. The red vortex exploded outward, hurling Ethan across the room. He crashed into the wall, pain searing through his ribs. Lily screamed as she was dragged backward, her form distorting as the red light tried to reclaim her. Ethan forced himself up, stumbling toward her. Lily, her hands clawed at the floor, trying to hold on, her body dissolving at the edges. Ethan grabbed her wrist. Her voice trembled. Ethan, I cannot stay much longer. If the door opens fully, I will be pulled back into it. I'll vanish again. Ethan tightened his hold. I just got you back. I am not losing you again. The vortex pulsed with violent hunger. The house roared, the ancient voice shaking every beam. You are the door. Speak the name. Ethan's mind convulsed. The name surged forward, tearing into him like a blade of fire. He staggered, clutching his skull. Lily held his face between her hands. Ethan, listen to me. You did not come here to open the door again. You came to end this, to end the cycle, to free us both. He stared at her. Her eyes glowed bright for the first time since she returned, filled with warmth. Human warmth. Ethan whispered, Lily, I am afraid. She smiled softly, pressing her forehead to his. You were always brave, even when you were lost. A violent blast of red wind lifted them both into the air. Ethan lost his grip on her. Lily screamed as she was dragged close to the threshold. Ethan roared. Lily, she reached for him, tears streaking down her fading face. Ethan, please, speak the name. Close the door. Ethan slammed the book open. The pages flipped wildly until they landed on the final one, a blank page until words burned across it in living red flame. The closing name, the only thing that could end this nightmare. The name pulsed, shaping itself in Ethan's mind, glowing brighter and brighter. His vision blurred, his heart hammered. The vortex shrieked with deafening fury as the creature sensed its own doom. Ethan inhaled. The walls shook. The house trembled. The vortex convulsed. He spoke the name, not in fear, not in confusion, but with absolute clarity. The world detonated in white light. The vortex imploded, sucking inward, pulling every shadow, every whisper, every memory fragment back into the fifth door. The creature screamed in layered voices as the threshold sealed, devouring the entity's essence. The red wind vanished. The floor stopped trembling. The house moaned like a dying beast. Then, silence. Ethan collapsed to his knees, gasping, the book falling from his hands. Dust drifted gently around him. The fifth door was closed, sealed, dead. But Lily? Ethan lifted his eyes, searching frantically. The foyer was empty. Ethan whispered her name. No answer. He reached toward the place where she had stood moments before, his hands shaking. Lily! His voice cracked. Then he saw it. On the floor, where her light had faded, lay a single object, a silver pendant. Her pendant, the one she always wore. Ethan picked it up with trembling fingers. It was warm, alive, a fragment of her essence still clinging to the physical world. He clutched it to his chest. He had closed the door, but he had not saved her. Not yet. The house groaned one final time, and a new whisper drifted through the silence. Ethan. Lily's voice, faint, distant, not gone. Ethan stood slowly, gripping the pendant and the ancient book. It was not over, not until he brought her back. The house stood impossibly still. The red glow that once bled from the fifth door had vanished completely, leaving behind nothing but a blackened frame, scorched into the wall like the outline of something that had died screaming. Dust floated through the silent foyer in soft spirals. The air, once thick with whispers and breath, felt hollow, emptier than any normal quiet should be. Ethan stood in the center of the room, clutching Lily's pendant in one hand and the ancient book in the other. His chest rose and fell in uneven breaths as if he had run miles. His ribs ached where the vortex had hurled him into the wall, but none of the physical pain mattered because Lily was gone, not dead, not erased, but pulled into some liminal space between life and memory. Trapped beyond the sealed threshold, Ethan whispered her name into the stillness. Lily, a faint echo, brushed the back of his mind, so fragile he couldn't tell if it was real or something he desperately wanted to believe. He exhaled slowly. The entity was sealed. The cycle was broken, but his victory meant nothing if she remained lost. He had to find her. He had to bring her back. The house creaked softly, not angrily, not alive, just old. For the first time since he arrived, the house felt like a house aging, broken, exhausted from centuries of containing something monstrous. Ethan scanned the foyer. Without the fifth door's presence, the wallpaper seemed duller, the floorboards darker. The veins and twisting shadows had receded. Even the portraits on the wall had returned to their faded, lifeless state. But something was wrong. The book in his hand vibrated faintly. A dim blue light pulsed from between its pages. Ethan opened it. The blank page from before was no longer blank. A new diagram spread across the paper circles, intersecting, runes etched into spiraling patterns, pointing toward a symbol he had never seen before. Beneath it, written in dark ink, were 5 words: "She is not beyond recovery." Ethan's heart jolted. The book responded to the door's closure. It shifted to reveal the next step, a way to reach Lily. His fingers fingers trembled as he traced the symbol. The lines pulsed faintly like veins under skin. The ancient ink glowed softly. Something scraped behind him. Ethan turned sharply. The scorched outline of the fifth door shuddered. No moved. A faint distortion rippled across its surface like heat above burning sand. The door was sealed, but not dead. Something remained connected to it, or someone. Ethan stepped closer. Lily's pendant clutched tightly in his fist. The air near the outline felt cold and electric, humming with the echo of old power. He lifted the pendant. It glowed faintly, resonating with whatever energy lingered beyond the sealed threshold. He whispered, "Lily, I'm coming." The floor beneath him creaked sharply. Ethan froze. The house groaned, not in hunger, not in anger, but in warning. Then the staircase banister snapped. Ethan spun as wood shattered behind him. A broken plank fell to the floorboards, revealing a narrow cavity inside the staircase. Dust billowed out. Ethan approached cautiously, sweeping aside debris. Inside the cavity was a small wooden box, old, hand-carved, covered in dust but untouched by the red corruption. Ethan pulled it free and opened it. Inside lay a stack of brittle, yellowed papers tied with faded twine. His breath hitched. The handwriting was unmistakably Lily's. Letters, diaries, notes from the days before she vanished. His hands trembled as he untied the twine. The top page bore a date, June 14th, 2012. The day before they first entered the house. He read quickly, eyes darting across the faded ink. "Ethan, I know you are afraid of what we will find, but I feel something calling, something ancient, not evil, curious. It wants to be seen. If anything happens to me, know that I chose this path. I am not afraid, as long as we face it together. Lily." Ethan clenched the page against his chest. His throat tightened. She had never feared the unknown. She had always stepped forward while he hesitated. Now she was lost because he had not understood the cost of opening the door. He turned to the next page. Another dated entry from Lily. "There is another threshold, not the one in the hallway. A deeper one. I've seen it in dreams, like a red ocean beneath the house. Something sleeps there, something waiting. If we touch it without understanding, it will claim us. Ethan must never know what I saw." Ethan's breath caught. Another threshold, something deeper, not the fifth door, but something beneath the house, something older. He read on. Her last page was small, rushed, ink smeared. "If the door takes me, follow the sound, not the house's voice. Mine, I will leave a path. Ethan, please find me." His hand shook violently. She had left him something. A path, a way to reach her. The pendant in his hand glowed brighter. The house groaned again, not in warning this time, in acknowledgement. As if it understood what he had discovered, Ethan turned toward the basement door. Of course, the basement, that vast chamber he had seen earlier, the place where ancient runes glowed, where the ground trembled, where the entity had partially risen before being sealed. He had thought the basement was the lowest point of the house, but Lily's words told him otherwise. A deeper threshold existed, a hidden ocean of memory and shadow beneath the physical house, a place where Lily's voice still echoed. Gripping the pendant, he stepped toward the basement door. The wood vibrated beneath his palm as he touched the handle, cold shot through his fingers. The door swung open on its own. A familiar darkness waited below. But this time, Ethan felt no fear, only purpose. He descended slowly, the book glowing faintly with each step. The air thickened around him. The whispering began soft, distant, not the entity's voice, not the house's voice, Lily's voice, calling him from somewhere far beyond. When he reached the bottom, the basement chamber glowed faint blue from the ancient runes, but the center of the floor where the pedestal had once stood was gone. In its place was a wide circular fissure. Red mist rose from it, swirling like smoke drifting upward from an unseen world. Ethan approached the edge carefully. The mist recoiled from his pendant, but curled hungrily toward the book. He opened it. The runes on the page aligned perfectly with the circular fissure before him. A portal, not like the fifth door's violent vortex. Something deeper, a place between memories and souls. A place Lily was trapped. Ethan closed the book, held the pendant to his heart, and stepped toward the fissure. A voice whispered from depths far below. "Ethan, Lily." He inhaled sharply, and he stepped into the red mist. The basement vanished. The world fell away. He descended into the threshold below all thresholds, into the place where Lily waited and where the house's final secret slept. Ethan fell through darkness that felt thick like liquid shadow. His body did not drop quickly, but drifted downward as though suspended in slow motion. Red mist coiled around his limbs, warm and cold at the same time, shifting like living silk. He held Lily's pendant tight in one hand and the ancient book in the other. The book glowed faint blue, dim pulses beating like a distant heartbeat, guiding him deeper. There was no floor, no walls, no sky, only an endless abyss that carried him downward with the weight of forgotten memories. Echoes of voices brushed past him, some familiar, some foreign. Whispers of Ethan Carter's from past cycles, whispers of fear, whispers of regret. Then, gradually, a light appeared below him, a red ocean, a vast shimmering expanse of liquid crimson stretched to infinity. Waves moved slowly, each crest forming distorted reflections of Ethan's face. Dozens of them, hundreds, some younger, some older, some crying, some screaming without sound. The surface parted as Ethan descended, allowing him to land gently upon it as if stepping onto a floor made of trembling glass. He steadied himself. The ocean rippled beneath his feet, but somehow held his weight. A low, humming resonance vibrated through the air, rising from the glowing depths. Ethan whispered, "Lily, can you hear me?" Her voice answered faintly, carried by the mist. "Ethan." He closed his eyes. Her voice sounded near and far at once, like she was calling from beneath the waves. He opened the book. Runes on the page shifted, forming new words. Follow the echo of her soul. Ethan breathed in shaky relief. The book was still guiding him, still connected to whatever force had created this place. The pendant in his hand vibrated, pulling him toward the distant horizon. He began walking across the red ocean, each step sending ripples across the liquid surface. The world around him shifted as he moved. Shadows rose like pillars, then dissolved. Echoes of past selves formed and vanished in silence. Time did not flow normally here. It curled and bent like smoke. The red sky above pulsed with each beat of Ethan's heart. Ahead, a shape emerged from the mist. A structure, a bridge made of bone-white stone suspended above the ocean. It stretched forward into fog too thick to see beyond. Carved along its edges were runes similar to the ones in the book, glowing faint blue. Ethan stepped onto the bridge. The moment his foot touched it, the entire structure shuddered. Waves rolled beneath him, cracking with dull thunder. A whisper filled the air. Turn back. The voice was not Lily's. It was deeper, empty, a hollow version of Ethan's own voice. He glanced back. The surface of the red ocean rippled, forming a silhouette. A perfect reflection of himself stared at him with eyes made of swirling black mist. Ethan forced himself forward. The bridge groaned. The sky darkened. The ocean surged. But he pressed on, gripping the pendant tighter. Lily's faint voice called again from ahead. "Ethan, please hurry." He quickened his pace. The fog thickened until he could barely see his own hands. Shadows writhed inside it, shifting like living ink. A low groaning sound echoed from beneath the ocean floor. Ethan slowed as a dark shape rose from the depths. A massive spine twisted upward like an enormous serpent made entirely of shadow. It recoiled, then dove beneath the waves with a roar that shook the entire world. Ethan stumbled but kept moving. The book warmed in his hand, turning his fear into focus. The bridge eventually opened into a wide platform suspended above the ocean like an altar. Floating above it was a sphere of red light, swirling with streaks of blue. Lily's voice echoed from inside the sphere, faint but clear. "Ethan." He stepped closer. The light parted, revealing Lily suspended inside like a figure trapped in liquid glass. She reached toward him, her form flickering. Ethan gasped, "Lily, hold on." She shook her head. "Do not touch it. This prison feeds on what you remember. It locked me here because I knew too much." Ethan lifted the book. "How do I free you?" Before Lily could answer, the world convulsed. The ocean churned violently. Red water rose, forming columns that twisted into humanoid figures. Shadow creatures with hollow eyes climbed the columns of liquid, forming bodies shaped from memory fragments. They stepped onto the platform, circling Ethan. Their mouths opened. "You broke the cycle. You speak the name. You close the door, but you do not belong here." Ethan raised the book. "Get away from her." The creatures moved closer. Their steps made no sound. Their faces were distorted versions of his own, twisted, empty, soulless. Lily screamed, "Ethan, behind you." He spun. A massive shadow towered over him, rising from the edge of the platform. The same entity he had seen in the memory world, smaller now, but still vast enough to shake the bridge with each movement. Hundreds of eyes opened across its shape. A mouth split across its surface, dripping red mist. It spoke without sound. "You took what is mine." Ethan stepped back, gripping the book and pendant. Lily pressed her palms against the inside of her red sphere. "Ethan, you must use the pendant. It has part of my soul." The book will tell you how. Ethan opened the book urgently, runes rearranged into a diagram of the sphere and a symbol connecting it to a shape like a key. Lily's pendant. He held the pendant out. It glowed bright white, cutting through the red mist. The shadow creatures recoiled. The entity shrieked, shaking the platform. Ethan shouted, "Lily, I am coming." He prepared to strike the sphere with the pendant, but the massive shadow lashed out. A tendril slammed into the platform, sending cracks across its surface. Ethan stumbled. The pendant flew from his hand, landing near the edge. No! Another tendril lunged for him. Ethan threw himself forward. The tendril struck the stone behind him, shattering it. He crawled toward the pendant as the world shook around him. Lily screamed his name. The creature's eyes multiplied, watching him from every angle. Ethan reached the pendant just as a tendril lifted him from the platform. He dangled above the red ocean, the pendant glowing in his grasp. The entity spoke again, its voice crushing his thoughts. "You cannot free what belongs to the door." Ethan roared back. "She does not belong to you." He swung the pendant downward. The tendril recoiled. He fell slamming into the platform. Pain exploded across his ribs. Lily screamed for him to get up. He forced himself onto his knees, raising the pendant high. The book glowed. The runes connected. A final phrase appeared written in bright blue light. "Return the stolen soul." Ethan pressed the pendant against the sphere. A blinding flash exploded outward. The sphere cracked. Lily cried out as the red shell shattered like breaking glass. Shards exploded in all directions, dissolving into mist. Lily fell forward into Ethan's arms, her form solid, warm, real. The entity screamed. The ocean rose. The bridge cracked. The world shook violently. Lily whispered weakly, "You freed me, but its true form is rising. We must leave now." Ethan nodded, gripping her tightly. But below the platform, the red ocean tore open, revealing a colossal silhouette rising from the depths, larger than the house, larger than anything human imagination could hold. Its mouth opened, reaching toward them. Lily squeezed Ethan's hand. "Run!" The platform splintered. The world collapsed, and Ethan and Lily ran as the red ocean swallowed everything behind them. The world around Ethan and Lily shattered like a mirror, collapsing under the weight of its own reflection. The red ocean roared, rising into violent spirals that twisted into storms of crimson mist. Waves of liquid memory surged upward as if trying to swallow them whole. The bone-white bridge beneath their feet split apart with thunderous cracks, each tremor sending jagged shards of stone plunging into the abyss. Lily clung to Ethan's arm, barely able to stand. Her form, once flickering like a dying candle, now glowed faintly, stabilizing with each breath she took. Ethan tightened his grip around her waist, pulling her away from the collapsing platform. "We have to keep moving," Ethan shouted. Behind them, the colossal shadow creature emerging from the depths towered higher than the broken sky itself. Its shape was no longer abstract, no longer a mass of vague eyes and mouths. It had begun to take form, a monstrous body composed of writhing tendrils, shifting bones, and twisting silhouettes of memories. Every step it took rippled across the ocean like a shock wave. Its voice rattled through the air. "You took what was mine." Lily squeezed Ethan's hand harder. Do not listen to it. It feeds on fear, on regret. Keep going. The red ocean around them split open again. Vast cracks formed beneath the surface, as if the world itself were tearing apart. Ethan pulled Lily toward what remained of the bridge. The pendant around her neck glowed brighter with each step, resonating with the trembling atmosphere. As they ran, twisted shapes began rising from the collapsing sea. More figures, more reflections. Hundreds of Ethan faces stared up at him from beneath the waves, their mouths stretched open in silent warnings. Some reached upward with distorted arms, desperate to pull him under. Ethan forced himself not to look, not to listen. The only real version of him was the one running forward, the one who refused to leave Lily behind again. Ahead, a narrow path of floating stone fragments, formed like stepping stones suspended by invisible threads. Lily whispered breathlessly, "The house. It remembers us. It is trying to help." Ethan swallowed hard. He had almost forgotten the house was not just a prison. It was also a container, a guardian, a gate. And now that the creature was no longer bound by the fifth door, the house was doing everything it could to guide them to safety. They stepped across the fragments. The stones shifted underfoot, trembling as though resisting the pull of the collapsing world. Ethan held Lily close as they leapt from one fragment to the next. The air thickened, the sky darkened, the ocean below surged with violent force. Suddenly, the massive creature lunged. Its enormous tendril slammed into the bridge remains, sending a shockwave through the world. Ethan and Lily were thrown into the air. Ethan screamed her name as they tumbled toward the Red Sea, but before they fell far, the pendant burst with blinding white light. A shield formed around them, an orb of shimmering energy. The red liquid hissed and recoiled, unable to touch them. Ethan held Lily tightly as they drifted downward onto a floating slab of stone. Lily gasped, breathless. The pendant, it protected us. The creature roared in rage, shaking the entire ocean. You cannot leave. She is mine, and you are the door. Ethan stood shakily, pulling Lily to her feet. He glared at the towering monstrosity. I am not your door anymore. The creature extended a massive limb toward them. It stretched across the ocean, forming jagged spikes at its tip. The stone beneath their feet cracked. Ethan lifted the ancient book. The pages flew open, glowing with brilliant blue light. Runes spiraled outward, forming symbols Ethan had never seen before. Lily stepped closer, reading the glowing lines with wide eyes. It is giving us a way out. Ethan squeezed her hand. Then let's take it. The world shook again. The creature's tendril slammed downward, aiming directly at them. Ethan held the book high. A beam of blue energy shot upward, striking the tendril. The limb recoiled, burning away into swirling black ash. The creature screamed. A pathway opened ahead, a long, shimmering trail of floating shards leading upward into a spiraling vortex of white light. Lily gasped. That must be the exit. the threshold out of the red ocean. Ethan grabbed her hand. "Let's go." They ran. Each shard of stone vibrated under their feet as they dashed forward. The vortex above grew brighter with every step. Light spilled downward, bathing them in warmth. Lily stumbled, but Ethan held her steady. Behind them, the creature moved with terrifying speed. It plunged multiple limbs into the red ocean, pulling itself upward. Its massive form began to climb the broken sky, tearing through the air like a living nightmare. It was coming for them. Ethan shouted Lily faster. Lily's legs trembled, but she pushed herself onward. Her voice cracked Ethan. "It is too fast. No, you can do this. I will not lose you again." She looked at him with desperate determination. "Then run together." They sprinted across the final shards. The vortex crackled with power, shifting the world around them. Ethan reached out for the glowing rim of the portal. Almost there, the creature lunged. A massive limb whipped forward, striking the floating path just behind them. The entire structure shattered. Ethan and Lily were thrown toward the light. Lily reached for his hand. Ethan reached back. Their fingertips brushed. Then the creature's limb wrapped around Lily's ankle. She screamed. Ethan's heart stopped. Lily was yanked backward out of the vortex's reach. She clawed at the air. Ethan roared her name and grabbed her wrists with both hands. The creature dragged her downward. Ethan felt his muscles tearing from the force. Lily cried. "Ethan, let go. You will be pulled in." "Never." The vortex pulsed violently, pulling Ethan upward, while the creature dragged Lily downward. His body stretched between two opposing forces. His arms shook. His grip slipped. Lily cried, "Ethan, please do not sacrifice yourself for me." But Ethan shouted, "I am not sacrificing anything. Not losing you again." The pendant around Lily's neck glowed white, brighter than ever. The ancient book burst open in Ethan's hand. Pages tore themselves free, swirling around the vortex. A final rune appeared in blinding blue light. The creature recoiled, its grip loosened. Lily surged upward. Ethan pulled with all his strength and dragged her fully into the vortex. The world exploded into white silence, a moment suspended in nothing. Then Ethan's body hit solid ground. Cold air rushed into his lungs. He gasped, blinking rapidly as his vision cleared. Above him was not the red sky of the ocean, nor the warped ceiling of the red world. It was the wooden beams of the real house. He was back. The basement. He looked beside him. Lily lay on the floor, breathing alive, solid and completely real. Her skin no longer flickered. Her form did not waver. She was whole. Ethan crawled to her, cupping her face. "Lily, are you okay?" She nodded, weakly, tears forming in her eyes. You brought me back." He pulled her into a tight embrace. But before he could speak further, the house shuddered, not violently, not in threat, but in relief, as though centuries of tension had finally broken. The runes along the basement walls dimmed, losing their ancient glow. The fissure that had opened in the center sealed slowly, its red mist fading into nothing. The house whispered one final time, "Thank you." And for the first time since Ethan had entered it, the house fell completely silent. Lily rested her head against Ethan's chest. "It is over." Ethan held her close, but both of them knew this was not the end, only only the end of the beginning. The basement settled into an unnatural quiet, a silence so deep it felt carved from stone. Ethan held Lily against his chest as her breathing steadied, her warmth returning slowly, as though her soul needed time to settle back into her body. The faint blue glow from the book dimmed until only its worn leather cover remained visible. The pendant around Lily's neck flickered once, then rested in a soft silver glow. For the first time since stepping into the nightmare of the fifth door, Ethan felt something he had not felt in years. Hope. Lily stirred in his arms. Ethan, are we truly back? He nodded, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. We are back. We made it. Lily's fingers curled into his shirt. Her voice trembled. I thought I was gone. Forever. I would never let that happen again. She smiled faintly, but her eyes drifted to the closed fissure in the center of the basement. The red mist was gone. The runes were dark, but something underneath still pulsed faint, slow, like the fading heartbeat of a dying giant. Ethan, it is not dead. He knew she was right. The creature had not been destroyed, only severed from its power. For now, Ethan stood, helping Lily to her feet. Her legs wobbled, but she stayed upright. The pendant warmed against her chest, stabilizing her presence. The house creaked above them, not violently, but purposefully, as though it sensed their return. Lily shivered. It is reacting to us. Ethan glanced around. The walls of the basement had changed. What had once been ancient runes were now etched into something resembling veins, dark lines pulsing faintly, drawing inward towards the center of the house, toward the old foundation. Lily whispered, Ethan, was it always like this? No, it is different, like the house has shifted again. Ethan turned toward the stairway, but as he and Lily approached the steps, the wooden boards trembled. A wave of cold swept downward, not hostile but cautious. The house whispered, a low breath of shifting memories. Ethan Carter. Lily squeezed his hand. It is not calling you this time. It is warning you. Ethan steadied her. Let us get upstairs first. They climbed the staircase slowly. At the top, the basement door opened on its own, not violently, but with the tired groan of an old structure holding secrets too long. The foyer was dim. Dust floated in the stale air. The fifth door's outline remained burned into the wall like a scar the house would never heal from. Lily stepped beside Ethan. Even sealed, it still watches. Ethan approached the outline. A shadow flickered inside the scorch mark. He froze. A faint silhouette formed tall, thin, rippling like smoke underwater. It leaned forward, its featureless face pressing against the barrier between worlds. Ethan stumbled back. Lily grabbed his arm. It is the creature. It is still there. No, Ethan shook his head slowly. It is not the creature. The shadow cocked its head. Then the shape shifted into Ethan. A perfect mirror of himself stared back from within the outline of the fifth door, except its eyes were hollow, black pits that swallowed light. Its mouth remained still, yet Ethan heard its words inside his skull. We are not finished. Lily stepped forward, fury burning behind her voice. You cannot have him anymore. The reflection tilted its head further, as if analyzing her. You do not belong in this world, not entirely. Lily froze. Ethan moved in front of her. Leave her alone. The shadow Ethan dissolved into smoke, and drifted back into the burned imprint of the door before vanishing completely. The outline dimmed. The house moaned. Lily touched Ethan's shoulder. "Ethan, what did it mean?" Ethan turned to her. "Lily, are you sure you are fully back, fully alive?" She hesitated. Her reflection in the foyer mirror flickered. Her reveal was faint. "But enough," Lily whispered. "A thin part of me is still tied to that world, the red ocean. It did not let go fully." Ethan felt the ground tilt beneath him. No, I saved you. You are here." She placed a gentle hand on his cheek. "You did save me, but I was trapped there too long. I do not know how much of me truly belongs here now." Before he could respond, the floorboards beneath them groaned, shaking violently. The house whispered again, louder this time. "The door is closed, but the debt remains." Lily looked around frantically. "Ethan, we need to leave. Now." He nodded. They hurried toward the front door. Ethan grabbed the handle and yanked. It did not budge. He pulled harder. Nothing. The house moaned deeply, wood bending around the frame. Lily's breath hitched. "It is sealing itself." Ethan threw his shoulder into the door. It still did not move. Behind them, the lights flickered violently. The house began shifting again. Walls stretched, ceilings warped, windows darkened into black mirrors, reflecting distorted images of them. Ethan's reflection stared back, but Lily's did not appear at all. Ethan turned sharply. "Lily," she touched her chest anxiously. "Ethan, I do not think the house sees me as alive." The staircase snapped like a jaw. The attic hatch slammed open on its own. Doors all along the hallway burst inward. The entire house was breathing fast. Panicked, confused, Ethan shouted, "What do you want from me?" The house answered without hesitation. "The other one," Lily gasped. "Ethan, it wants me." The floorboards splintered under her feet. Ethan grabbed her, pulling her close as the wood underneath cracked open, revealing a gaping void filled with swirling blackness. Lily screamed, clutching him tightly. "Ethan, do not let go. Never!" But the house was relentless. Memories surged through the walls, scenes of Lily trapped in the red ocean, scenes of her suspended in the sphere, scenes of her flickering like a ghost. Lily covered her ears. "Stop it. Stop showing me that." Ethan shouted, "Leave her alone." The house shuddered violently. Every light shattered. Wind roared through the foyer. The burned outline of the fifth door glowed faint red. Something began forcing its way through. Not the creature, not the shadow Ethan. Something smaller, thinner, crawling from beneath the wood. A child's hand, pale, skeletal. Another followed. Then a small figure pulled itself from the burned outline, wide-eyed, mouth sewn shut, body jerking with mechanical spasms. It crawled toward Lily with disturbing speed. Ethan stepped forward. "You are not touching her." The child entity tilted its head. Then it spoke in the voice of dozens. "Return what was taken." Lily clutched Ethan's arm. "Ethan, it wants my soul fragment." The child lunged. Ethan swung the book. A burst of blue light exploded from its pages, throwing the creature across the foyer. It hit the wall, split into mist, then reformed immediately stronger. Lily backed away. "Ethan, it cannot be killed. Not here." Ethan grabbed her hand. "Then we take you out of here." He dragged her toward the back of the house, toward the windows, but each window they approached warped into black stone. every exit sealed behind them. The house whispered, "She belongs to the threshold." Lily screamed, "I am not going back." Ethan held her face. "Then we fight." The book pulsed again. Pages flipped wildly until they landed on a page written in blue fire. A ritual, not to close a door, but to anchor a soul. Ethan lifted the book. "Lily, this is how we keep you here." She stared at him, trembling. "Ethan, if we do this, the house will come for you instead." He smiled faintly, "Then let it try." Lily's eyes welled. "Ethan, I cannot lose you." He pressed his forehead to hers. "You will not." The child entity shrieked and leapt. Ethan raised the book. Blue fire erupted. The ritual began. Blue fire spiraled upward from Ethan's hands as the ancient book pulsed with impossible life. The air thickened around him, and Lily, vibrating with a humming resonance that made the walls quiver like living skin. The house groaned in protest. Beams flexing, wallpaper writhing as if trying to peel itself off in strips. Every window shattered inward, glass turning to ash before hitting the ground. The ritual had begun, and the house, whatever consciousness it possessed, knew it. Lily clutched Ethan's arm, her breath trembling. "Ethan, this ritual, it is not meant to be performed inside the house." He wrapped an arm around her, shielding her from the swirling gusts of blue fire. "Then we make it meant to be." The child entity screeched from across the foyer, its sewn mouth tearing slightly with the force of its scream. Strings snapped one by one, allowing a black void to open where a mouth should have been. It staggered forward with jerking, unnatural movements, each step cracking the floor beneath it. "Return, the soul, the soul, the soul." The voice did not come from its mouth, but from every corner of the house, every nail, every board, every breath of air. Ethan took a step back, lifting the book. The blue fire expanded, forming a circular barrier around him and Lily. The child entity leapt but hit the barrier with a violent blast, sending ripples through the protective field. Lily grabbed his wrist. "Ethan, the book says the anchor ritual requires 3 stages. What are they?" Before she could answer, the house shifted. The 5th door's burned outline contorted, stretching into a towering crack of blackness. A second entity crawled out, this one taller than a human, its limbs too long, its joints bending backward. Its head hung low, and from its back, dozens of thin black strands unfurled like spider legs. Ethan inhaled sharply. "Lily, run!" But the house had already sealed the exits. The walls thickened, molding into solid stone. The floor beneath their feet reformed, turning into a circular platform etched with glowing runes. The house was preparing a battleground. Lily scanned the book. Stage 1, claim the soul. Stage 2, bind the name. Stage 3, reject the claim. That sounded simple, but nothing inside this house had ever been simple. Claiming the soul meant fully pulling Lily into the living world. Binding the name meant rewriting the house's memory of her. Rejecting the claim meant severing the creature's ownership forever. The child entity crawled forward again. The taller entity followed, limbs scraping the floor with high-pitched metallic screeches. Ethan's pulse pounded in his skull. Lily opened the book fully. Ethan held the pendant up, He lifted the pendant. Its silver surface burst with white light, filling the room with warmth that pushed against the suffocating darkness. Stage 1. Claim the soul. The white light pulsed. Lily gasped as her body flickered, first transparent, then solid, then transparent again. Ethan grabbed her shoulders. Stay with me. Stay here. She shivered uncontrollably. I am trying, Ethan, but it is pulling me back. The taller entity lunged with a clawed arm. Ethan thrust the pendant forward. A wave of light slammed into the creature, hurling it into the wall so hard the plaster cracked. The child entity screeched. The sewn mouth ripped open wide, and a torrent of shadow poured out, swirling like a hurricane toward Lily. Ethan stepped between them. Blue fire exploded from the book, colliding with the shadow storm in a violent shockwave. The house shuddered. Chandeliers fell from the ceiling, smashing into dust. The soul must be claimed, Lily cried, reading from the book. The anchor must draw upon the bond. Then take my hand, Ethan shouted. He grabbed her hand tightly. The pendant flared. Their combined warmth filled the foyer with a white glow so bright the house itself screamed. The shadows recoiled violently. Lily's form stabilized, no flicker, no distortion. Stage 1 complete, but only for a moment. The burned outline of the 5th door split open wider. A third entity emerged, massive, horned, its body shaped from the red mist of the ocean below. It towered over the foyer, scraping the ceiling with its crooked spine. Its voice rattled every bone in Ethan's body. The soul is mine. Lily staggered backward. Ethan grabbed her. Stage 2. Lily, what is stage 2? She flipped the page quickly. Bind the name. We must make the house remember me as living, not lost. How do we do that? Before she could respond, the horned entity lunged. Ethan threw Lily behind him and raised the book. Blue fire shot upward, forming a pillar of light that smashed into the creature's chest. It roared, stumbling back, cracking floor tiles with every step. Lily pressed her palms on Ethan's back. Ethan, the ritual needs your voice. My voice. Say my name. Bind it to this world. Say it as truth, Ethan. He swallowed hard. Lily Morgan. Nothing happened. The entities surged forward simultaneously. Lily cried again. Say it like you believe it, Ethan. Like you know it is real. He held her tightly, whispering into her hair. Lily Morgan is alive. The pendant flared. The book glowed. The entire house shuddered violently. Runes ignited across the floor, swirling up the walls and into the ceiling. The burned outline of the 5th door pulsed red, then blue, then white. The child entity howled and dissolved into smoke, torn apart by the force of the bound name. The horned entity recoiled, its entire form cracking under the pressure. Stage 2 complete. Lily gasped, falling to her knees. Ethan knelt beside her. Lily, Lily, look at me. Her eyes shimmered. I am here, Ethan. I feel real. The horned entity let out a final roar and charged. Lily shouted, Stage 3, Ethan. He lifted her into his arms. Tell me what to do. Reject the claim. Ignore the door. Deny its right to me. You must reject its memory. Ethan stood tall, pulling Lily behind him as the horned entity thundered closer. His voice cracked but grew louder with each word. "She is not yours. She will never be yours. You do not own her. I reject your claim." The house screamed, not the creature. The house itself, the walls bent outward, the burned outline shattered, fragments of black ash flying through the air like broken glass. The horned entity's body split open as blue fire carved through it, dissolving it into shreds of shadow. The ritual circle flared with brilliant white light. Stage 3 complete. The house exhaled. Every light turned white. Every shadow receded. Every sound fell silent. Lily collapsed into Ethan's arms, breathing hard but steady. Ethan held her tightly, tears gathering in his eyes. "Lily, are you anchored? Are you safe?" She nodded slowly. "I am here, Ethan. Truly here." He kissed her forehead, relief flooding through him. But the house whispered one last time. "A debt repaid, and a new debt begins." The floor trembled. A single board in the foyer lifted, then another. Something beneath the house was waking, something older than the 5th door. Ethan pulled Lily close. This was not over, not even close. The floorboards rose and fell like the ribs of some ancient creature struggling to breathe. Ethan pulled Lily farther from the center of the foyer as planks tilted upward, cracking at the edges. Dust burst into the air in thick clouds. The house was not merely shifting anymore. It was waking. Lily's fingers tightened around Ethan's wrist. Her breath trembled against his shoulder. "Ethan, something else is underneath." He swallowed hard. His pulse thudded against his ribs. The ritual had anchored Lily's soul, binding her name into the living world. But it had also awakened something deeper, something the house had fought desperately to hide. The book in his hand grew unnaturally heavy, humming with a low vibration that made his bones ache. The floor split open. A long, jagged fissure tore across the foyer, spreading from the burned outline of the 5th door to the far wall. The crack widened like a gaping maw, revealing nothing but darkness beneath. A sound rose from the void, a slow, dragging inhale, not air. Memory. Lily covered her ears. "Ethan, that sound. It feels like it is pulling pieces of me out." He held her shoulders steady. "Stay with me, Lily. Do not look down." But the whispering rose anyway, swirling around them like a storm made of broken thoughts. "Ethan Carter, Ethan Carter, you who open, you who bind, you who owe." Ethan shouted into the fissure. "What do you want from us?" The whisper replied in 1,000 overlapping tones. "The foundation, the root, the memory beneath memory." The boards shifted again, a massive shape pressed upward from below as though something enormous curled beneath the house, was stretching after centuries of slumber. Lily staggered backward. "Ethan, that is not the creature from the red ocean." He knew this presence felt older than the entity they fought, older than the house, a primordial intelligence, buried deep, using the house as its shell. The book's pages fluttered open violently, slapping against Ethan's hand. Blue fire pulsed from within, illuminating a new symbol. A spiral descending into darkness. Lily whispered, "The deep threshold." Ethan's heart froze. He traced the page with trembling fingers. "I thought the fifth door was the lowest point." Lily shook her head. "No, the fifth door was only an entrance. This is what the house was built to seal." The fissure widened again. A hand emerged, not skeletal, not monstrous, human, pale and elegant, with long fingers and a faint symbol carved into the palm, a spiral matching the one in the book. Ethan dragged Lily behind him. The hand grasped the floor, pulling the rest of the shape forward. A figure rose from the darkness, human-shaped but impossibly tall, its face smooth like polished stone. No eyes, no mouth, no features at all. A shifting imprint whispered across its surface, like someone trying to form a face out of memory. Lily gasped. "Ethan, it is trying to become someone." The figure stepped fully into the foyer. Its height almost reached the ceiling beams. Its head turned toward them, no eyes. Yet Ethan felt its gaze pierce through him. It spoke without a mouth, not through sound, but through the mind. "I am the foundation." Ethan staggered back, clutching Lily close. The figure took a step forward. The floor recoiled, bending under its weight, not from pressure but from the sheer gravity of its presence. "You released what was mine." Lily clung to Ethan's arm. "It means me, Ethan. It wants me back." He shook his head violently. "No, you are not going anywhere." The foundation responded. "Your ritual defied the agreement." Ethan's voice cracked. "Agreement? What agreement?" The house moaned as if answering for him. Images flashed across the walls, shadows of people entering the house centuries ago. Rituals, doors, names carved into stone. "Sacrifices," Lily whispered. The house was built on a pact. Once a soul crossed the threshold, it belonged to the foundation forever. Ethan stared at her. "Lily, did you know?" She shook her head, tears forming. "I only knew the house trapped souls. I never knew why." The foundation extended a hand toward Lily. Her body jolted as if yanked by invisible hooks. Ethan grabbed her waist, pulling her back. She screamed, "Ethan, it is pulling me." Ethan roared. "Let her go." He thrust the book forward. Blue fire erupted, slamming into the foundation's chest, but the energy dissolved instantly, like water splashing against stone. The figure did not flinch. "Your scriptures are of my making." Ethan froze. The book, their greatest weapon, was created by the very entity they were fighting. Lily trembled. "Ethan, we cannot fight it." He held her tighter. "Then we do not fight it. We break its rules." The foundation tilted its head. "Rules are all that bind you." Ethan flipped through the book, pages whipping under his shaking fingers. He found the spiral again, the symbol of the deep threshold. Underneath was text that had not been there before. 2 souls anchored, 1 price reclaimed. Lily gasped, "Ethan, it wants one of us." He pressed his forehead to hers. "I will not let it take you." She gripped his arms. "Then it will take you." The ground trembled violently. The foundation compressed the air around them, bending gravity itself. Ethan fell to his knees. Lily collapsed beside him. "Choose." The word reverberated through their bones. "Choose." Lily whispered, "Ethan, please, do not." He grabbed her face. "Lily, listen to me. I am the one who opened the door. I am the one who caused this. I will finish it. Her eyes widened with horror. "Ethan, no." He stood shakily and stepped forward. "Take me," Lily screamed. "No, Ethan, you cannot." But the foundation paused. "You are already owed." Ethan froze. "Already owed? What do you mean?" Lily choked out. "Ethan, no." The foundation's featureless face shifted. Impressions of Ethan's faces flickered across its surface. Him at 12, at 18, at 30. Dozens of versions appeared, overlapped, faded. "You were given to me long ago." Lily grabbed Ethan's arm. "Ethan, your first disappearance. When we were teenagers, you were gone for hours. You said nothing happened." But his blood ran cold. Fragments of memory burst through him, standing in the attic, touching a door that was not the fifth door, hearing a voice whispering a name he did not understand. The foundation continued. "You were mine before you opened the door." Lily shook her head. "Ethan, no." The foundation lifted a hand. "Choose. Yield yourself, or the house will take her place." Ethan stared at Lily. Lily stared at him. The world narrowed around them into a single, unbearable decision. Ethan whispered, voice trembling, "Lily, run." Before she could react, he turned and stepped toward the foundation. Lily screamed, "Ethan, no, do not do this. Ethan." But the ground beneath her split open again, swallowing her scream in darkness. The foundation reached for Ethan, its palm pressed against his chest. The spiral burned into his skin. The world shattered. Black, silent, cold. Lily's scream echoed in the distance, and Ethan was gone. There was no sound when Ethan vanished, only an abrupt, crushing stillness, as if the world itself had inhaled and forgotten how to breathe. One moment he stood before the foundation, its stone-smooth hand on his chest, and the next he dissolved into blackness so complete it erased even the memory of light. Lily's scream echoed through the collapsing foyer, ricocheting off bending walls and trembling beams until the house itself seemed to shudder with the sound of her grief. Then silence. An unnatural, unbearable silence. Lily fell to her knees, her hands slamming against the floorboards that had moments before swallowed Ethan whole. Her breath broke into ragged, choking sobs. "Ethan, Ethan, where are you, Ethan? Answer me." But no voice came from the void. No echo, no trace. The house, now dim and trembling, seemed to hold its breath. Lily crawled toward the fissure, ignoring the shards of wood cutting her palms. She peered into the darkness, but it was not a hole anymore. The void had shifted, twisting into a spiraling tunnel made of trembling shadows. The structure beneath the house groaned as the spiral expanded, releasing cold wind that stank of memory and decay. Lily whispered, "Ethan, please do not leave me." But she knew this wasn't Ethan's choice. The foundation had taken him, claimed him, fulfilled a pact Lily had never known existed. She stood slowly, wiping her bloodied palms on her jeans. The pendant at her throat flickered with weak silver light. She grabbed it hard, willing it to glow brighter. "Show me where he is." For a moment, the pendant remained dim. Then a Weak, faint, but undeniably Ethan's direction downward. Lily stiffened. She turned toward the spiraling fissure again. The tunnel pulsed, mirroring the pendant's glow like an echo answering an echo. Her heart clenched. He was alive. Taken, but alive. Lily stepped toward the void, but the house reacted instantly. Floorboards rose like jagged teeth, forming barriers in front of her. The walls slammed inward, blocking access to the spiral. A whisper swept through the air. "You are not permitted." Lily pulled the pendant forward like a blade. The silver glow intensified. "You do not own me anymore." The house recoiled. The barriers trembled, then split apart. A narrow opening formed, barely wide enough for her body. She slipped through. As she approached the edge of the fissure, the spiral widened again, sensing her presence. The wind reversed direction, pulling inward now, inviting her deeper. She inhaled shakily. "Ethan, I am coming," and she stepped into the spiral. For the briefest moment, she felt weightless, then the world inverted. The spiral swallowed her. Ethan awoke on cold stone, his body trembling with disorientation. His lungs burned as if he had forgotten how to breathe. He rolled onto his side, gripping the ground until the dizziness subsided. "Where am I?" He pushed himself upright and looked around. He stood in a massive chamber of black stone, carved from the same material as the foundation's face. No light existed here, yet the walls glowed faintly with pale runes, illuminating the cavern in ghostly silver. Ethan staggered forward. His chest throbbed with pain. He looked down. The spiral mark burned into his skin, glowed faintly. The foundation's voice rippled through the air. "You have entered the labyrinth of the unmade." Ethan clenched his fists. "Where is Lily?" A pause. "The one you defied me for is an anchor now. She cannot follow you here." Ethan exhaled sharply. His breath came out in white mist as the air grew colder. "Why am I here? You are what was owed, what was promised, what was returned." Ethan's memories twisted. His disappearance as a teenager, the whispering door, the feeling of falling. He had forgotten so much, too much. "What did I give you? Not what. When?" Ethan's pulse quickened. "You took my time. The time you do not remember belongs to me. You entered the door before the house was awakened. Your years were mine long before you knew her name." Ethan staggered backward, breath shallow. His missing hours, his strange dreams, his sense of déjà vu. They weren't random. They were debts. He had been tethered to the deep threshold for decades without knowing. The foundation continued. "You are here to complete the thing you began, to open what you sealed, to finish what you promised." Ethan shook his head. "No, I will not help you destroy Lily. The ritual was not for her. It was for you. She was the key. You are the lock." Ethan collapsed to his knees as pain tore through his chest. The spiral burned hotter, sending tendrils of fire coursing along his ribs. He screamed, clutching his chest. "Make the labyrinth whole. Complete the path. Open the route." Ethan gasped. Ethan froze. Another voice, quiet, fragile, echoed faintly through the chamber. "Ethan, Lily." Her voice. He stood slowly, ignoring the pain. The pendant on his chest, though he did not physically possess it, glowed faintly within his mind. Lily had reached him. If she could reach him, then he could reach her. Ethan shouted, "Lily, can you hear me?" No verbal answer returned, but a pulse warm, soft, familiar pressed against his mind. He took a step toward it. The labyrinth shifted instantly. Walls groaned and rearranged, creating a new passage in front of him. He stared into the corridor, its walls covered in black veins that pulsed like a heartbeat. The foundation whispered, "The path will break you. Turn back." Ethan stepped forward. "Good. I want you to try." He ran. The labyrinth roared in anger. The walls lunged inward like jaws, trying to crush him. Ethan dove forward, rolling across stone. A giant tendril of shadow whipped across the corridor behind him, slicing the air where his head had been. He sprinted onward. The runes ignited, one by one, lighting his path. Some symbols he recognized from the book, others pulsed with unknown meaning. Another pulse from Lily guided him left. He turned left without hesitation. A massive chamber opened around him, filled with floating shards of black stone suspended in midair. Fragments of memories echoed across their jagged surfaces. Scenes from his childhood, his life with Lily, and darker images of the red ocean and the doors. A voice whispered from beyond the shards, "Ethan." He sprinted through the floating stones, dodging shards that spun toward him like blades. "Lily, I am coming. Hold on." Two massive pillars of stone slammed down to block his path. Ethan jumped onto one, pulling himself upward. The stone rose suddenly, lifting him toward the ceiling like an elevator of living rock. The foundation roared. "You defy what you cannot defeat," Ethan shouted back. "Then try harder." The stone pillar bucked violently, trying to throw him off. Ethan clung desperately to the rough edges, hauling himself upward until he reached the top. Lily's pulse, stronger now, urged him forward. He leaped. He fell through darkness, then landed on soft earth. Ethan gasped. He was in a forest, a familiar forest. When he turned, he saw a younger version of himself standing before the old attic door of the house. The same door he touched at age 13. The door that whispered to him and stole the hours he could never explain. This was his memory. The foundation spoke behind him. "This is where you were first claimed, where you owed what you did not understand." Ethan turned slowly. The faceless figure towered in the forest clearing. "You cannot change the root," Ethan whispered. "Oh." He knelt beside the younger version of himself, who looked up at him with wide, frightened eyes. "You do not have to open it," the child whispered, "but it is calling my name." Ethan reached out and took the boy's hand. "Then do not answer." The spiral on Ethan's chest flared. The door shook violently. A scream tore through the forest. The memory shattered. Ethan fell backward into darkness, but he heard Lily's voice again. Clear now, Ethan. "I found you." Light burst around him, and he awoke in a new chamber, a chamber with Lily standing at the center, pale but alive, holding the silver pendant that glowed like a star. She smiled shakily. "I told you. I would come for you too." Light burst around Ethan like a shockwave the moment Lily appeared in the labyrinth chamber. For one disorienting second, he could not tell where the light came from her pendant. The runes runes on the walls, or something deeper within him that had finally awakened. All he knew was that she was here. She had come for him. Lily stumbled forward, her breaths ragged, her face pale from the strain of stepping into a world not meant for the living. Ethan rushed to catch her, pulling her into his arms. Her fingers dug into his shirt as though confirming he was real. "Ethan," she whispered breathlessly, "I told you. I would come for you too." He held her tighter than he ever had. "How did you find me?" "The pendant led me, and you answered." He felt her tremble, not from fear, but from the unbearable cold of the labyrinth. This place drained warmth and memories, feeding on the past like oxygen. The runes dimmed the longer she stood here. "You should not be here," Ethan murmured. This place destroys anything living." "Then we leave," she said. Together, the labyrinth reacted instantly. The walls twisted with a low, thunderous groan as if rejecting her presence. The runes glowed sickly yellow. The ground trembled beneath their feet. A voice rolled across the chamber. "The anchor cannot remain." Ethan shielded Lily behind him. "No, she stays." The Foundation's presence stirred the air like a storm. Though the figure did not appear yet, its awareness pressed into their minds like cold fingers. "She is bound above. She is not permitted below." Lily lifted the pendant defiantly. "Too late. I am already here." The pendant pulsed with a blinding white flash. The entire chamber cracked. Walls split open, revealing an impossibly long corridor stretching into darkness. The ceiling twisted into spines of stone. The floor flattened into polished black obsidian, reflecting distorted images of Ethan and Lily in its mirror surface. Ethan swallowed hard. The corridor of fears. He recognized it from the book, from faint sketches hidden in the margins, a place that reshaped itself according to the deepest memories the threshold wanted to consume. Lily squeezed his hand. "Ethan, what is this place?" "A trap." For me, the reflections in the obsidian shifted. Instead of showing their present selves, Ethan saw Lily from years ago, the moment he left her house without explanation. The night everything fell apart, she stood in the reflection, reaching after him with eyes that asked questions he never answered. Lily gasped as her own reflection changed. It showed herself trapped in the red ocean, repeating her last hopeless scream before the sphere consumed her. She stepped back. "Ethan, make it stop." He couldn't. This corridor did not obey human will. It obeyed fear. "We keep moving," he said. "Do not look down." But as they walked, the reflections continued to shift. Ethan's worst failures played across the surface. Moments when he pushed Lily away, the night he vanished as a teenager, the years he lost to the door. Lily's reflections mirrored her agony in the sphere, the loneliness, the dread she endured while suspended between life and oblivion. The Foundation's voice whispered from everywhere, "You are what you fear. You are what you left behind." Lily covered her ears. Stop trying to make us believe your lies." But this time the voice responded differently. Not lies. Echoes. The corridor rippled. Suddenly the reflections shifted again. Faster, more violently. Ethan saw dozens of versions of himself, young, old, broken, twisted, running through different versions of the same corridor. Some were ahead, some behind, some trapped within the stone, all of them screaming. Lily cried out, "Ethan, they are you!" He forced himself forward. "They are not me, not anymore." But they were every version of Ethan who came before, who tried to defy the threshold and failed, was still trapped in these halls. The labyrinth did not release its debts easily. Lily stumbled as the obsidian beneath her flickered, turning briefly into red ocean water before hardening again. Ethan caught her. "Lily, stay with me. I am trying," she whispered. He felt her weakening. The labyrinth drained anchored souls slower than unanchored ones. But Lily had crossed a forbidden boundary. The deeper she went, the more the house reclaimed its claim. Ethan gripped her hand tighter. "We move faster." They ran. The corridor warped as they sprinted, stretching farther, then contracting so suddenly, Ethan almost crashed into the far wall. Doors appeared along both sides, hundreds of doors, each identical, each whispering with voices calling Ethan's name. Lily panted, "Ethan, which one?" "None. They are distractions." The doors pulsed. Some burst open, revealing hands reaching through. Others showed forests, oceans, attics full of shadow. One door revealed Ethan's childhood bedroom. Another revealed the red ocean. Another showed Lily floating alone in darkness. Lily shielded her eyes. "Ethan, this corridor knows everything about us." He nodded grimly. "That is why we keep moving." But the threshold had grown impatient. The lights died. Darkness flooded the corridor. Not natural darkness, darkness that erased form, memory, warmth. Ethan barely kept his balance as his sense of direction dissolved. Lily clutched his arm. "Ethan, I cannot see. Stay close." He tightened his grip on her hand and took a step. Instantly, the darkness reacted. A figure stepped out of it. Not a monster, not a creature. Ethan, not one of the reflections, not one of the trapped versions. This one looked exactly like him now. Same clothes, same wounds, same spiral burning on his chest. But his eyes were empty, hollow, dead. Lily whispered, "Ethan, please tell me that is not you. It is not the false." Ethan spoke without opening its mouth. "You cannot save her." Lily flinched. Ethan stepped forward, shielding her. "You are not real." The double tilted its head. "I am what you will become." "No, you have walked too far into the root. Your soul is already claimed. There is no return." Lily grabbed Ethan's arm. "Do not listen. It is lying." But the double continued. "She will be pulled back, and you will take my place in the labyrinth." Ethan lunged forward, grabbing the double by the collar. "You do not decide who I become." The double smiled. "She does." Ethan froze. Lily stiffened behind him. Before he could speak, the double dissolved into shadow. The darkness cleared. The corridor ended. A massive stone gate loomed ahead, spiraled with runes matching the mark on Ethan's chest. The gate pulsed with the rhythm of a heartbeat. Lily whispered, "Ethan, what is that?" "The root door." "What does it do?" "Ends everything, or begins everything." He turned to her, pulling her close. "Lily, once we pass through that door, there is no turning back. We face the foundation directly." She nodded. "Then we go together." Ethan brushed her cheek. Always. He placed his hand against the spiral. The gate shook, the labyrinth screamed, and the root door opened. White light exploded outward, and the two of them stepped through. White light swallowed Ethan and Lily as they stepped through the root door. It was not warm or cold, not painful or soothing, just absolute, consuming presence. It filled their lungs, their thoughts, their veins, as if the very concept of reality had paused to judge whether they deserved to continue existing. Then the light collapsed inward, and they fell, not down, but through layers of memory, sound, breath, and shadow. Ethan felt Lily's hand gripping his, trembling but unbroken. The spiral burned on his chest, pulsing like a second heart. Lily's voice cracked through the blur. "Ethan, do you hear that?" He did. A heartbeat. Not his, not hers. Something older, something vast. The falling stopped. They landed on solid ground, or something pretending to be ground. Ethan caught Lily before she stumbled, and the two looked around at the impossible space around them. They stood in a colossal cavern, lit only by a dim red glow that seeped from cracks in the walls. The air vibrated with every beat of the deep heartbeat, shaking dust loose from the stone ceiling. Massive pillars rose upward like ribs. The cavern stretched out endlessly, but at its center lay something enormous. A heart, not flesh, not muscle. A heart made of doors, hundreds of them wooden, stone, iron, glass stacked and fused together, all pulsing as one giant living organ. Each door opened and closed in slow motion, like breaths. Lily gasped, "Ethan, this is the root." Ethan nodded, unable to take his eyes off the monstrous structure, the root of the threshold, the source of the labyrinth, the origin of every door Ethan had ever opened or feared. The heartbeat shifted, the doors trembled, and a voice echoed across the cavern. "You have returned to where you began." Ethan stepped forward, pulling Lily with him. "Show yourself." Stone cracked in the far shadows. The foundation stepped into the red glow, taller now, broader, its smooth stone face covered in cracks that shifted like liquid. The spiral carved into its chest pulsed with the same rhythm as Ethan's. "You have walked too far. You cannot leave now." Ethan clenched his fists. "I am not leaving without her." Lily squeezed his hand, but her eyes flickered with fear. The foundation tilted its head. "The anchor is not complete. She remains claimed by what lies above." Lily swallowed. "The house still wants me." Ethan stepped in front of her. "Then take me instead." The cavern shook violently. "The debt of one does not erase the claim of another." Lily whispered, "Ethan, it wants both of us." He knew. He had known from the moment the spiral burned into his chest. The root wanted them both. Their lives, their memories, their fear forever. But he would not let that happen. Ethan lifted the book. Blue fire erupted from its pages, roaring upward like a living flame. Runes spiraled around him, swirling into a barrier of shimmering light. The foundation snarled, "You dare bring my scriptures against me. You created them," Ethan shouted, "but you do not control what they become." Lily held up her pendant. The silver stone glowed with fierce white light, brighter than ever before. The two lights, blue and white, merged into a swirling storm around them. The cavern quaked, pillars cracked, the heart of doors beat faster and faster, shaking the ground like thunder. The foundation raised a hand. The root does not break, the root does not bend, the root consumes. A shockwave of crushing force blasted across the cavern, smashing into Ethan's shield. He staggered backward, nearly losing his grip on the book. Lily steadied him, pressing both hands to the pendant. Ethan shouted, "Lily, now it is your turn. You anchor me." She nodded, eyes burning with determination. "Tell me what to say." He flipped through the pages, wind howling around them. A ritual glowed, the root severance. Not a ritual to anchor, not a ritual to bind, a ritual to sever all ties, to erase the claim of the threshold forever. Ethan's breath caught. "Lily, this is it. But it will cost us." "What?" "Memories. A life without memories of each other. The price of cutting the root's power." Lily went still. Her lip trembled. "Ethan." He cupped her face. "Lily, I would rather live a life without memory than die with you trapped here." Her tears fell silently. "Then we choose together." The foundation roared and charged. Ethan and Lily joined hands. The ritual ignited. Runes burst from the book, swirling around them in spirals of blue and white fire. The ground beneath them cracked in a perfect circle. A column of light erupted into the cavern, blinding and violent. Ethan shouted the words carved onto the page. Lily repeated them, trembling but steady. The root pulsed faster. Doors slammed open and shut, howling with countless voices. The foundation reached them. It struck the barrier. The world shook. Shadows screamed. Ethan felt the ritual tearing through him, ripping out strands of memory. His first meeting with Lily, their laughter, their shared nights, the day she disappeared, the day he found the fifth door. Lily sobbed as her memories tore free, drifting upward as glowing fragments. Ethan held her hand tighter. "Stay with me," she whispered. "I will. Even if I do not remember how." The foundation pushed harder, cracks forming across its body. The light burned through its stone surface. "You cannot sever what you are," Ethan roared back. "Watch us." The ritual reached its peak. The cavern split. The heart of doors exploded into blinding white light, showering the chamber with splinters of memory and broken thresholds. The foundation staggered, its stone shell shattering, its spiral fading. Ethan felt the final tear of memory ripping from his mind, and then silence. Stillness, light, and the ritual ended. Ethan collapsed to his knees. The book fell from his hand. Lily crumpled beside him, her pendant dark. He reached for her. She reached back, but when their eyes met, there was recognition, but no memory. Ethan whispered Lily. She whispered Ethan, not knowing why the names felt right, and the cavern trembled one last time. A final door opened behind them, white, simple, waiting. Lily touched Ethan's arm. "Let us go." He nodded. Together they stepped toward the door, unaware of the shadow watching from the fractured root, unaware that something had survived. And as the door closed behind them, the faint heartbeat of the root continued. Slow, cold, waiting. The white door closed behind Ethan and Lily without a sound. No burst of light, no collapse of space, just silence, as if the world were holding its breath, while rewriting itself. Then they stepped forward. Their feet touched wooden flooring, old, worn, creaking softly beneath their weight. The scent of dust and age floated in the air. They were standing inside the house, but not the same house. The foyer was quiet, still untouched. No burned outline where the fifth door once was. No cracks in the walls. No pulsing rooms. It looked like an ordinary abandoned home, forgotten by time. Lily rubbed her arms, shivering. "Ethan, do you know this place?" He frowned. "I think so," but he did not know why. Memories fluttered like broken pieces of paper in the wind. His hand on an attic doorknob as a child, Lily's laughter, the glow of the pendant, but none of them held shape. Lily glanced at him. Her eyes reflected the same emptiness, the same ache of something lost. She whispered, "We left something behind." Ethan nodded, but neither of them remembered what. A breeze drifted through the hallway. The house exhaled a soft, almost relieved sigh. The floorboards no longer heaved like breathing ribs. The walls did not whisper. The threshold was silent. Ethan stepped further into the foyer. The chandeliers hung still. The wallpaper peeled in old, harmless strips. This was not a living labyrinth. Not anymore. Lily followed him, careful and slow. Her pendant no longer glowed. It felt like ordinary metal resting against her collarbone. Ethan touched the walls. No pulse, no heat. "It is just a house," Lily swallowed. Then, "Why does it feel sad?" Ethan didn't answer. He didn't know. They wandered through the rooms. Dust coated everything. Windows were boarded up. Furniture sat where it had been left decades ago. And yet, every room felt familiar, like a place they had once escaped, like a wound that had healed without closing. They found the basement door last. Ethan paused in front of it, his breath stilled. His chest tightened with something like pain, something like recognition. Lily stepped beside him. She traced the handle with delicate fingers. "Do you think we should go down?" "I think we have to." He opened the door. The basement was cold, quiet, filled with abandoned tools and shelves lined with old jars and dusty boxes. In the center, the floor was covered in a large faded stain, almost in the shape of a spiral. Ethan crouched down, touching the mark. Something happened here. Lily knelt next to him. Something important. Her voice trembled. "Ethan, were we alone when we came here?" He looked at her. The question felt too large, like it came from a life he didn't remember living. He murmured, "I don't know." She stared at him a moment longer. Then she reached up and touched her chest. The pendant warmed faintly, something it hadn't done since the ritual. Ethan's breath caught. "Lily." The pendant pulsed again, softly, as if reminding her of something. Ethan leaned closer. "What is it? What do you feel?" Lily closed her eyes. "I hear a voice." His heartbeat quickened. "Whose? I do not know, but it is scared." Ethan helped her stand. "We have to get out of here. Now." They left the basement and stepped back into the foyer. That was when they heard it. A knock, soft, measured, coming from upstairs. Lily's breath caught. "Ethan, we are not alone." Ethan grabbed a broken table leg off the floor, an improvised weapon. He motioned for Lily to stay behind him. They climbed the stairs slowly, each step groaning under their weight. At the top, the hallway stretched long and dim. Doors lined both sides. One door was open. Light spilled from inside. Ethan tightened his grip on the table leg. He approached the doorway. Lily clung to his arm. He pushed the door open wider. Inside was a bedroom, and in the center sat a boy, no older than 13, knees pulled to his chest, tear tracks on his face. His hands covered his ears. He rocked back and forth, whispering 2 words over and over. "Do not answer. Do not answer." Ethan froze. The pendant on Lily's chest pulsed violently. The boy lifted his head, and Ethan felt the ground tilt. Because the boy was him. Ethan stared, unable to breathe. The boy whispered again, voice cracking, "Do not answer the door." Ethan stepped forward. His throat tightened. He knelt beside the boy. He swallowed hard. "What door?" The boy's eyes flicked to the hallway. His body trembled. "The one that calls you by name." Ethan felt a cold shiver crawl up his spine. Lily whispered, "Ethan, we broke the root. How is this version of you still here?" The boy looked at Lily. His voice was barely a breath. "You forgot me. When you tore the root, I was the memory that stayed behind." Ethan's heart dropped. The ritual, the severance, it didn't just cut the claim, it cut parts of him. Lily knelt beside the boy. "What do you remember?" His eyes filled with tears. "Everything. The door, the voice, the fall, the ocean, the house, the other Ethan, the creature, everything, and no one came back for me." Ethan reached forward, but the boy flinched. "You left me here," Ethan whispered. "I did not know. I swear." The boy shook his head violently. "You forgot. You broke the door. You broke the world. And now it is waking up again." Ethan froze. "What is waking up?" The boy stared directly at him. "The part you did not sever." A deep rumble quaked through the entire house. Dust fell from the ceiling. The floorboards rattled. Lily grabbed Ethan's arm. "What did we not sever?" The boy's eyes went black. "The root. It left a seed, and before Ethan or Lily could react, the boy's body convulsed. His shadow grew, stretched, split. A second shape rose behind him, gaunt, faceless, whispering in dozens of voices layered on top of one another. A shape Ethan had seen in the red ocean, in the root chamber, in every nightmare the house had birthed. The foundations echo, the seed that survived. Lily screamed, "Ethan, run!" The boy's shadow lunged. Ethan grabbed Lily and pulled her backward into the hallway. The walls buckled. The air roared. The shadow stretched like liquid fire, rushing after them. Ethan looked at Lily. Lily looked at Ethan. Neither had memory, but both had instinct. They ran down the hallway, down the stairs, toward the front door. The house shook like a waking beast, boards snapping, windows cracking, the floor rippling like living flesh. Ethan yanked the front door open. Light poured in, real light, daylight. They sprinted through as the shadow clawed at their heels. Ethan shoved Lily outside. The ground outside trembled. He jumped after her. The shadow burst through the doorway, then stopped abruptly at the edge of the porch, as if some invisible barrier held it back. It shrieked, not in defeat, but in promise, we are not finished. Ethan grabbed Lily's hand, pulling her toward the trees beyond the property. Behind them, the house groaned, and the faint heartbeat echoed once, twice, then stilled. But Ethan knew one thing: it would not stay silent for long. The forest swallowed Ethan and Lily as they fled from the collapsing house. Sunlight filtered through the trees in soft golden beams, real, warm, and indifferent to the nightmare they had escaped. Their breaths came fast, ragged, matching the frantic rhythm of their footsteps. Only when the house was a distant silhouette behind the tree line did they finally slow. They bent over, gasping for air. Lily pressed a trembling hand to her chest. "Ethan, what was that?" He shook his head. "I do not know, but we need to keep moving. Whatever we left behind, it is not finished." Though neither remembered the labyrinth, the ritual, or the route, both felt an aching void inside a space where memories once lived. An emptiness shaped like something they loved, lost, and fought for. Lily rubbed the pendant unconsciously. It was cold again, lifeless, just a stone on a silver chain. Yet she could not bring herself to remove it. Ethan glanced at her. "We should find help. Maybe we were reported missing. Maybe." His voice trailed off as he noticed something strange. A path, one he had never seen before. A narrow dirt trail cut straight through the forest, perfectly centered between two ancient trees. It looked too clean, too intentional, like a path carved not by footsteps, but by choice. Lily followed his gaze. "Ethan, did we come from that way?" "No." He stepped closer. "But it wants us to..." The wind whispered between the branches. A faint heartbeat trembled beneath the ground. Lily stiffened. "Ethan, the house is gone. How can we still hear it?" Ethan swallowed hard. Because maybe the house was never the beginning. They walked down the path. The deeper they went, the quieter the world became. Bird song faded, wind stilled, even the forest seemed to hold its breath. Then they saw it a clearing, where the trees bent inward, bowing like worshippers around a single object. A door, not attached to a wall, or a frame, or a house. Just a door standing upright in the center of the clearing. White, clean, untouched. "Perfect," Lily whispered Ethan. "Is this ours?" He approached slowly. The closer he got, the more wrong the world felt. The air bent around the door like heat above a flame. Whispers curled at the edges of his hearing, soft, unintelligible, familiar. Lily stood beside him. She touched the door gently. It hummed beneath her fingers. "Ethan, this door knows us." He felt it too. A tug, a pull in his chest where the spiral scar still burned faintly beneath his shirt. He pressed his palm against the wood. Instantly, the forest vanished. The sky cracked open, and the door pulled both of them inside. They fell into darkness, but not the cold void of the labyrinth. This darkness pulsed with color, shifting shades of memory, possibility, and time. Images flickered around them as they descended. Ethan as a child touching the attic door. Lily suspended in the red sphere. The heart of doors beating in the root chamber. Memories they no longer remembered. The darkness whispered, "Your debt is not concluded." Lily's scream broke the illusion. Ethan reached for her, pulling her close as the darkness twisted violently, funneling them toward a distant point of light. They crashed onto stone. Ethan groaned, pushing himself upright. They were in a circular chamber, an impossible blend of the house's foyer, the labyrinth's corridors, and the root's infinite cavern. All three worlds intersected here, like threads tangled by a careless hand. Lily stood beside him, unhurt but shaken. "Ethan, this place, I know." Except he didn't. No one could know something that defied reality. At the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, and on that pedestal, a door handle. Old, rusted, familiar. Ethan's breath caught. "Lily, I know this." He stepped forward. Lily grabbed his arm. "Ethan, wait!" But the handle pulsed, beckoned, called, as though it recognized him, as though it had been waiting for him. The foundation's echo rippled through the chamber. "You broke the root. You severed the claim, yet the seed remains." Lily clutched Ethan's arm, fear rising in her throat. "Ethan, we cannot fight it again." He looked at her, and in that moment, though all memories had been erased, he knew one thing. He would not lose her. He turned to the pedestal. "What do you want from me?" The darkness shifted into shape, a silhouette, tall and stone-faced, cracked and incomplete. The final door must be open. Ethan stepped back. "No, I will not be tricked again. You cannot escape what you are." Lily squeezed his hand. "Ethan, you do not belong to it. Not anymore." But the echo's voice all hardened. "You are the first key. She is the last." The chamber vibrated. The walls bent. The air warped with the familiar sound of a heartbeat. Ethan pulled Lily behind him. "If you want to take us, come and try." The echo lunged, but before it reached them, the ground split apart. White light surged upward, blinding, violent, pure. The echo howled, its form flickering like smoke torn by a storm. The door handle exploded with blue fire. The chamber twisted like a collapsing star. And suddenly, Ethan remembered everything. The red ocean, the ritual, the severance. Lily's hand in his before the memories tore loose. Lily gasped, collapsing as her own memories flooded back. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Ethan held her tightly as the chamber shook. Behind them, the echo screamed in agony. The severed root had awakened the last fragments of memory power the echo could not withstand. The pedestal cracked. The handle burst into dust. A new door grew from the ground, white, clean, unscarred. Lily whispered, "Ethan, what is this one?" He helped her up. The last door, not the fifth, not the root. "Ours." He grasped the handle. The echo screamed one last time. "You cannot leave. You are threshold." Ethan looked back. Not anymore. He opened the door. Light engulfed them. Ha! They awoke on a roadside. An ambulance pulled up moments later, sirens blaring. A paramedic rushed toward them. "Sir." "Miss, are you?" The two hikers reported missing. "Are you injured?" Ethan blinked. "Hiker missing. What year is it?" The paramedic hesitated. "It is 2025. You disappeared 3 days ago." Lily squeezed Ethan's hand. 3 days. A lifetime. The paramedic checked their vitals. "You are safe now. Just dehydrated. Come with us." Ethan looked at Lily. Lily looked at Ethan. No monsters, no shadows, no heartbeat beneath the world. Just the wind, just sunlight, just life. But somewhere deep in the forest, the abandoned house stood silent, one window cracked, one heartbeat echoing faintly beneath the floorboards. A reminder, not a threat, not yet, just a whisper, a warning, a beginning. The story ends here. Thank you for watching and listening to the whole story. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to listen to the next stories.